Sunday against the Minnesota Moose, the final regular season home game for the Houston Aeros this year. Up next, a visit with the head coach Terry Ruskowski. That's next on UPN 20. Houston Aeros Hockey on Paramount 20 is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, by Columbia Hospital, by McDonald's, by Hilo Auto Parts, and by new Ice Brewed Ice Draft from Budweiser.
We're back here at the Omni with the head coach of the Houston Aeros, Terry Ruskowski. Roscoe, is tonight almost like a playoff game?
Well, the last 4 games have been almost like playoff games for us, Barry. We want to get keyed up and ready to play the playoff games. And last game that we played against Atlanta was really a big setback for us because we did mistakes that we should have had solved midway through the season. We made them last game. So it's a situation where we want to stop it now before it gets any bigger and get going on with the playoff type of style we should be playing now.
You've mentioned the word playoff 3 times. But you're not thinking about the playoffs. Why?
No, you don't count your chickens before they're hatched. I mean, we've got to make the playoffs. There's teams that are playing very well behind us. We have to be aware of what's going on, and we have to start winning hockey games, and that's the bottom line. Until we're mathematically in, that's when we'll start worrying about different things. But we got to worry about making the playoffs first of all. You
concerned about the fact, Terry, that Al Conroy, who came over a week ago in the trade, is yet to score an arrow point?
Well, I'm a little bit concerned. I know that he will. He's been playing hard. He's playing a good defensive game, and that's exactly what we want, an experienced guy. Matter of fact, I asked him to take the meeting this morning. We didn't have ice because of the Grateful Dead concert, and it was all the trash on the ice, and so we couldn't practice. And so I told him to take the meeting of the offense, and I put Crowley on for the meeting for the defense. So put a little bit of stress on him, a little bit of responsibility, and he came up some very good points.
Well, Terry Ruskowski tonight will act like the chairman of the board with the offense and defense taken care of by his players. We'll see if it results in an Aero win. We'll have more Aero hockey live from the Omni after this word on UPN.
Well, a very pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Omni in Atlanta. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner, and we are set for the Aeros and the Atlanta Knights in the final regular season meeting. Starting a goal tonight for the Houston Aeros, Pat Jablonski is 0-1 as a Houston Aero, 4 even goals against average and an 88.6 save percentage. He will be called upon to try and pull the Aeros out of this mini slump, I guess, if you will. They've dropped 5 of their last 6 and need a big win tonight against the Atlanta Knights. His counterpart across the ice, Derek Wilkinson. 20 years of age, 22-15 and 2.91 goals against average, 4th best in the IHL, and wow, he is 5-2-1 against the Aeros this year. On the bench for the Houston Aeros, Terry Ruskowski, 15-17 and 3. That's not too bad for a road record. I know he'd like to put it round at about 500 and let everything else take its place at home, but tell you what, not too bad for Terry Ruskowski. And on the other bench for the Atlanta Knights, John Paris Jr. And you can see to his right, Scott Gordon, the assistant. John Paris, who has done a fine job. He came in mid-season last year and led this Atlanta Knight team to the Turner Cup. Brad Watson, our referee tonight, Jerry Burt and Sean Finn are the linesmen. Todd Harkins will face off against Aaron Gavey at center ice. And here we go. Aeros in their road greens defend the goal to our left. Knights in their home white defend the goal to our right. Glad to have you with us. Final regular season meeting between the Aeros and the Knights here in the Omni. And the Atlanta Knights have the puck in their own zone. They'll clear it out at center. Jakes had it tipped away by Myers, who had 2 goals the other night. Myers cutting in, sent it, and it rolled past Bannister, and he's pounded down by Maurice. Aeros turn it, clear the puck to center, and here is Alan Peterson for the Atlanta Knights. Get it over to Bannister, chipped it into the Aeros zone. Bannister out of the net, or Mika Jablonski rather, out of the net for Houston. He has to battle behind with Chris Nelson. Look at him, he thinks he's a forechecker. Holy smokes, he was in behind the net doing a fine job checking along in behind, and the Aeros were finally able to shoot the puck down. Just about a minute gone by in the first in a scoreless hockey game. Knights with a puck in their own zone, a pass at center. Here come the Atlanta Knights. Giroux had it overskated, but Jason Ruff sent it a pass, just missing Drulia. And here come the Aeros to center. Mario Cinerone across the line, shoots the puck into Atlanta territory. Back is Bradshaw. He turned the puck over. Dave Tippett's got it. Tippett left side, center. Cinerone is shot, and he tipped it wide of the net. Now along the boards, Cinerone drilled like an oil well down along the boards, and here come the Knights. Moved it into the Aero zone, but Curtis Hunt will clear it. Now it is Yves Leroux right side. Here come the Knights from right to left. It is Brock Woods. He'll shoot the puck into the Aeros zone. Jablonski out of the cage to slow, and it is Kevin Grant. No score in the hockey game. A minute and a half played as Grant jams it down on the ice. Icing indicated. Arneal first one there, and he's pounded to the ice, and we'll get an icing call. Arneal hustled back, but not enough to play the puck, and now everybody kind of getting into it as Mark Freer had some words for Brock Woods. And Brock Woods, a kid that actually played one game with the Houston Aeros. He was signed to a 25-game tryout. One of the toughest guys in the East Coast League, and the team that he played against, the Atlanta Knights.
Woods laid the lumber on Arneal, and Chitteroni got blasted by Jason Ruff. And Ruff, who people think, well, he's a great scorer, a very physical player. Good, clean, solid checking. So once again, Adam, the playoff intensity we talked about is here tonight. Brock Woods just nailing Scott Arneal. Puck does not want to lay down. And a good clean check going to the boards.
And you saw that knee, for those of you watching on television, that knee kind of buckle under him, and you kind of cringe when you see that, but he's all right. And a face-off to the left of Pat Jablonski. Freer against Aeros, and the Knights win the draw. Woods a drive, and a stick save made by Jablonski. Here is Slivchenko, steers a pass to center, overskated by Freer. Now turned around by the Knights along the center ice area. And Aeros had to shoot it back into his own zone. The Aeros take over. Crowley brings it over offsides, and a face-off will be brought back to center ice. 18:06 to play in the first, and a scoreless hockey game. Ted Crowley, a guy that had a big game about 2 weeks ago against the Kansas City Blades, and he's looking to get that big howitzer going tonight.
Well, Crowley had one the other night. Unfortunately, the lead pass by Rob Robinson, just a hair off sides, and that would have made a difference in that game the other night.
And how about the one the third period that he dinged off the post? So Crowley's had some chances, and tell you what, he's got that cannon. Of course, played for the U.S. Olympic team, and teammate of Todd Harkins in Chicago in the deal that sent Clayton Young and Brian Pellerin and Steve Goslin to Chicago. Off the face-off now. Robinson shoots it into the Atlanta zone. Slivchenko overskated it, but now it's cleared by Brian McReynolds, and Gretzky's got a 2-on-1 break. But Gretzky fell as he tripped over coming over the blue line. Now along the near side, McReynolds. He's bumped along the boards by Robinson, and the Aeros pick up the loose puck. Here is Steve Jakes lining it up a pass. Center ice for Freer. He'll try to hit the line. Lost the puck. Cleared, not out. Held in Slivchenko. Van Eem hooked off the play. Good work there. Tell you what, Slivchenko doesn't have a goal in his last 7, but he has had so many chances offensively. He's been there pretty well every game, just hasn't quite gotten them to go in, but they will. He creates so much offensively as it's Derek Mayer in behind his net. Roll the pass, Brock Woods for Brent Gretzky. Moving out at center ice, and from right to left he comes. Gretzky across the line. Gretzky dropped it back. Here's a pass right back to Gretzky as Jim Hiller playing the two-man game with Gretzky. Now the puck sent back to a left point for Alan Peterson. Into the corner, it's intercepted by Jakes, and the Aeros turn it and clear it. Out at center ice, Graham Townsend brings it into the Atlanta Knights zone. Townsend, he's bounced by Bannister into the corner. They fight for it. Peterson trying to push his man in there. Townsend trying to center to Maurice. It's knocked away, and now the Atlanta Knights clear it. At center, it is Gretzky. A pass up for Jim Hiller. They make it McReynolds rather, and he'll shoot it into the Aeros zone. Jablonski tossed it into the corner, and now it is Todd Harkins. Right side, Townsend. His pass, center ice, up for Maurice. Just out of his reach, though, and the Knights take over. 16:38 to go in the first. No score. Pretty good end-to-end action here, though. The Aeros and the Knights. Now on the boards, the Aeros have got it. Here is Todd Harkins, had a goal and an assist Wednesday night in the Summit against Atlanta, but he got a pass at center that was knocked away. Knights take over. Campo belted by Crowley, and then Brant Myers comes in to try and do a little work, and the Knights are back. The pass at center goes into the Aeros zone, and Ted Crowley's got to hustle back. Crowley will take a pass from Pat Jablonski, and he'll set up behind his net. Here's Ted Crowley, and he'll move it from left to right with just about 4 minutes played in the first. Still no score. Crowley, long lead pass, center ice, Chitteroni, give it to Dave Tippett through the neutral zone across the line. Tippett looking for Conroy, shoots, Wilkinson stopped it, rebound! But it went into the corner, and the Knights turn. Can they clear it? No. Held in by Chitteroni, a pass, knocked down in the circle. Shaw is there. Here is Brad Shaw for Atlanta, pass to Drulia, and now it is Shaw again at center, weaving through the neutral zone, and we're going to get our first penalty of the night. It's to the Aeros. Delayed call. Puck played by Atlanta. Aeros need to control it. They finally do. And as they touch it, we will take a timeout. And when we return, we'll bring you the night power play scoreless hockey game. We'll be right back.
No score at the 4:23 mark. Dave Tippett into the penalty box, 2 minutes. So the Aeros, who are number 2 in the league at 84.7% of killing penalties, got the penalty killing unit on the ice.
Now at the face-off, the Knights have got it. And Brent Gretzky right side trying to jam it down into the corner for Jason Ruff. He's watched by Curtis Hunt. Now Ruff into the behind the net for Aeros, and here is Jason Ruff again at the hash marks. Left side jammed it down into the corner. Kevin Grant trying to pop a rule on the boards, and here is Jason Ruff back to the line. Mayer back over to Ruff, cutting and winding, shooting. Oh, stop! Jablonski the rebound. Just went over the stick of Gretzky, and down the ice it goes. Out of the net, Wilkinson. He'll stop behind the cage, and now it is Derek Mayer. He'll turn and move it up ice. Mayer weaving up and out of his zone. Center ice, Aeros trying to find Brad Shaw, and then Freer tries to take him into the boards, and the Aeros take over and shoot it down the ice. It'll go all the way down. Wilkinson out of the net to stop, and here is Derek Mayer for the Atlanta Knights, and the Aeros have a minute 11 left in the penalty to Dave Tippett. Freer at center with Ruff trying to play the puck away. Here is Aeros, tossed it for Mayer, hits the line, dumps the puck in. Jablonski out of the net, and he'll leave it for Rob Robinson. That's one thing to watch as this game goes on, Barry. I thought Wednesday Jablonski was very active in moving the puck in the first period and a half, but then after that seemed very tired. Stayed back in the net, wasn't active pursuing the puck. We'll see how he is tonight. Now the Aeros shorthanded, have a 2-on-1 break. Here's Maurice, ready to go, waiting, shooting, he scores! Mike Maurice shorthanded, 15 shorthanded goals on the year, and the Aeros take a 1-0 lead.
That was teamwork at its best for the Aeros, as they really did a great job, as you said, Adam. They lead the league in shorthanded goals as we look at it from the center ice position. The Aeros doing a superb job. Jakes controlling the puck and definitely puts it to Maurice. Now watch Jakes. Jakes will drive to the net. He's opportunistic, waiting for the rebound, but they've got the defenseman turning around as we take yet another look. A very subtle job of just dropping the pass, and Jakes positions himself, and the defenseman makes the mistake of just turning backwards on the 2-on-1 there, and Jakes gets credit along with a great job done by Mo, who puts the puck in, giving the Aeros the 1-zip lead.
And there was going to be a penalty call on the Atlanta Knights, a delayed call, but because the Aeros scored on that delayed penalty, there is no one now. As Chitteroni right back, cranked that off the post, and it's picked up by the Atlanta Knights. Wow, Chitteroni just about got the second shorthanded goal on one power play. Now the Knights, they're offsides, and a face-off brought back to center. 6 minutes gone in the first, 1-0. The Aeros lead it with that goal. As you look at Terry Ruskowski, I am told I want to say hello to everybody in the Aeros office at Seabrook Beach Club. They're all gathered there in Houston, watching the Aeros and watching him take a 1-0 lead. So my hello, and that guy right there, Derek Wilkinson, you know, he gave up some early goals Wednesday, but boy, he really clamped down on the Aeros after that.
Well, history repeated itself with Aeros jump out to a 3-0 lead again, like they did Wednesday night at the Summit.
Now the Knights across the line. Aaron Bowe, there's still 17 seconds left in this Atlanta power play. Kevin Grant behind the net, watched by Jim Hiller, and it's cleared to the line. Not out. Bowe held it in to Brian McReynolds. He's belted by Grant, and the Aeros clear it. Al Conroy down the left side, chipped it into the Atlanta zone. Conroy pushed in there by Aaron Bowe. Knights turn. Can they clear? No. Second effort, yes, but the penalty's over. Teams at 5 aside. Tip it back out of the ice. He'll play the puck away from Stan Drulia. Now, here's our first look at Carl LeBlanc. He was signed yesterday to a 25-game tryout, playing for the Knoxville Cherokees of the East Coast League, and he makes a pass at center. Now Maurice across the line, cutting to his left. Sent it for Conroy, but he couldn't get the twig on it. Another drive. That hit skates, and the Knights will clear it. Alan Peterson gets it out at center ice. Here is Carl LeBlanc, a pass knocked away by Peterson. It goes back into the Knight zone, and Bradshaw is there. He'll shoot it all the way down the ice, and we're going to get a whistle. And I guess they say the Knights played it. That's a 2-line pass with 7 minutes exactly gone in this first period. Aeros lead it 1-0, and Pat Jablonski not really been tested yet.
Now, not yet, but the other night he was so rusty at him, he wanted to go take a shower with WD-40. I mean, it's been so long since he's played. He really hasn't practiced in a month, and he loves to play the puck, as you said. I asked him if he had any superstitions. He said, it's been so long since I played, I forgot what the routine is. And the important thing, he catches with the wrong hand. We'll develop that one a little bit later on.
Harkins, Townsend, and Malkunis with LeBlanc and Crowley. LeBlanc, we talked about Brock Woods, the top penalty man in the East Coast League. Pete Deneen, the director of player personnel for the Aeros, says LeBlanc is probably number 2 or 3 in the East Coast League. Tough defenseman. Now the puck controlled by Jablonski. Chipped the puck along the boards, but it was picked up by Gavey. Knocked it down for Campo. He's pinned along the boards by LeBlanc. And here is Alan Peterson in the corner. He's skate to skate with Graham Townsend. Puck scoots to the corner, and here is Carl LeBlanc. LeBlanc, long pass. No, he had to look like he wanted to pass it. Now he will. A center for Malgunas. In over the line, lost the puck, and Campo will turn clear and out at center and play whistle down. We'll bring more IHL action to you from the Omni after this. It's 1-0 Houston. You want a little lemon with that fish there, Bear?
Oh, good fish last night we had.
Pretty good seafood here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Aeros have a pretty good start here, leading 1-0 as it's Vadim Slivchenko. He's pounded into the boards by Derek Mayer, but that's going to draw a penalty as Mayer may have gotten the elbow or the stick up, and Mayer does not like the call. But I'll tell you what, he may be running for Mayer after this one. He's been playing so well for the Atlanta Knights, but he'll go to the box for high sticking as you watch Slivchenko working hard in the corner.
On the poise of Vadim Slivchenko, great camera work from our UPN staff down in the truck. As we saw Slivchenko take the elbow, but he did not retaliate. Vadim Slivchenko understands what playoffs are about, and what Terry Ruskowski is trying to do is to get this team to a playoff fever pitch. So you don't retaliate. You figure, hey, we got the guys in the power play. And the big key in the power play right now, Adam, is Terry Ruskowski wants his guys to be more creative and have more puck movement, more body movement.
Freer, Arneal, Townsend with Crowley and Tippett. Face off in the circle to the right side of Derek Wilkinson. As you see Mayer in the box, 2 for the high stick. And we're ready. McReynolds, pretty good face-off man. Can't win the draw here as the Aeros have got it now. Tippett to Crowley, right point. Ted Crowley getting set. Still a puck dangling down low, but it was knocked away, but got it back. Down into the corner for Freer. Base of the right circle. Puck takes a hop, and it comes all the way and then hits Tippett right in the entrail. I don't know. That's not exactly how he had it diagrammed, but he got the job done. Here is Arneal down for Freer, cutting behind the cage for Arneal again. To the line, Crowley. Oh, and Arneal thought he was going to rip the shot and went the other way, and the Aeros have to get it back in the corner. Arneal cuts down a pass, just going wide of the net. Here is Tippett, jammed it down behind the net. Freer waiting, now moves around Shaw. It comes to the far corner. McReynolds cleared. Now just out at center and down the ice it goes. 1:16 remaining in the Derek Mayer minor, and the Aeros turn it center. Arneal had it jabbed away, and Tippett back at center ice. It's 1-0 Houston with 11:24 to play here in this first period of action. Glad to have you with us tonight from the Omni. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner as the Aeros. Freer give it to Townsend across the Atlanta blue line. Rips it along the boards. It'll kick to the near side for Scott Arneal. Back to the line, Crowley looks for the shot. Now for LeBlanc, but he turned the puck over and it's cleared. Drury to center, and Ruff has a short-handed breakaway and a magnificent defensive play by Ted Crowley. Another shot, and Jablonski was down to block that. Wow, a wonderful poke check and a wonderful save. And the Aeros, well, don't have the puck, but at least they stopped the Knights from scoring. Now Drury again short-handed, cuts right in on goal around LeBlanc, and now it's picked up by Kevin Grant. Grant jammed it along the boards. Here comes Grant now. He'll move the puck ahead for Mike Maurice, who has the Aero goal. His 19th of the year. Maurice down the left side hits the brakes, trying to push it back. Gretzky knocked it away, and now Rupp again gets by the Aero D, but Harkins has him tied up. Now the puck squirts free. Kevin Grant back to play the loose puck. Here comes Houston, though, but the penalty is over. Teams are at 5 aside. Kevin Grant, left side, brings it in over the line. Ran into his own man. Maurice dumped it in, and it's picked up by Brad Shaw. Here come the Knights now. Yves Aru through the neutral zone, in over the line. Got by Harkins. Now cuts in front of centering pass, and that's knocked away by LeBlanc. Now out at center ice. Slivchenko in over the line. Looks for the pass. Slivchenko still with it now. Tossed it into the corner. Chitteroni barely gets centered, but missed Harkins, who was just behind him. Brock Woods. Center ice pass for Shaw. Goes into the Houston Aeros zone. Jablonski knocked it down, and here is Steve Jakes. 1-0 Houston, 9.5 to play in the first. Knights have the puck and drive. A great save made by Jablonski, as I think he got a shoulder on that. Now the puck in the corner. It's fished out as we've got some pushing, shoving going on, but play also going right on. Here's the puck going behind the Aero net. Robinson, a pass, left side. Chitteroni moving up and out at center. Chitteroni give it to Al Conroy across the line, winding, shooting, and Wilkinson with the save, and he'll hold on. 1-0. The Aeros lead it with 9:12 to go in the first. We'll be back.
talked in the open the importance of Al Conroy getting his first Aero goal. Boy, he lets it fly right here, gets the puck in perfect position, a lot of open ice, and Wilkinson's got to cover up and hold on to make sure that rebound doesn't slip through. It's not going to surprise me, Adam, if he scores tonight.
So Conroy ready to take the face off as Derek Wilkins, I think, took that off the top of the pad and more onto the knee and leg there, and that kind of will hurt just a wee bit. It's a Mentholatum moment. The face off to the left of Derek Wilkinson. Here is Aaron Bowe hooked on the play, lost an edge, crashed and burned, but the Knights have got it. Move it on at center ice. Brad Shaw through the neutral zone, hits the line looking for Ruff. Shaw pulls up now, gives to Ruff. Centered, it hits skates. Drulia was tied up by Dave Tippett. And here come the Aeros at center. Kevin Grant. Pass intercepted by Aeros. And the Knights take over. Stan Drulia from Elmira, New York. He'll play the puck back into his own zone. And it's picked up by Brad Shaw. We've got 8:40 to go in the first. 1-0 Houston. Puck in the Atlanta Knights zone. Battle on the boards. Conroy. All 5'9" of him grinding it out along the boards, but it's fished out by the Atlanta Knights and cleared to center. Here's Curtis Hunt. He'll belt it into the Atlanta zone. And after it, Scott Arneal. It's chipped to the line, not out. Townsend held it in. Graham Townsend lobbed it down. Arneal centered just behind Freer. Here's LeBlanc centered. Shot. Oh, what a save by Wilkinson. They bang away at the puck, and Wilkinson says, oh no, but I've got some lovely parting gifts for you. What a series of saves by Derek Wilkinson.
Adam, it's obvious why you highlighted him at the open of our show. Folks, this kid, and I mean kid, is only 20 years old. But the poise and the composure, Graham Townsend thought that he had scored. But what a job this kid does. After taking one high off the knee, saved one. There's Graham. I scored. I got it again. You son of a gun, you stopped me from scoring a goal.
That's all right. We've got a year's supply of Rice-A-Roni. Thanks for playing, Graham. Boy, that was close. I thought he scored too, but a face-off to the right of Derek Wilkinson. And now we've got a face-off between Freer, Arneal, Townsend. And that'll go up against the line of Brian McReynolds, Brock Woods, Jim Hiller is actually, Woods is a defenseman, excuse me, Hiller and Gretzky. And now the Knights win the draw, and Gretzky romps to center. Down the left side and across the line. Gretzky shakes off a check wide, shoots. Jablonski's got the rebound, score! Brian McReynolds on the rebound. This hockey game is tied at 1.
I don't know what it is about Brent Gretzky, but the sight of an Aeros sweater brings out the best in him.
Well, for Brian McReynolds, it's his second goal as an Atlanta Knight, and you can see how he just goes right to the net and puts in the rebound.
The wrist shot, just like you said, Adam, there was nothing splendiferous about that. Just basic hockey. He gets the shot off, but a great job of stick handling by Gretzky, and the rebound and sailing through was McReynolds. So obviously, one of the Aero forwards getting caught up ice on that.
Now off the face-off, Knights have got it, and it is Jim Hiller. McReynolds' second goal as an Atlanta Knight, and of course he was sort of the later player to be named later, future considerations, whatever, when the Dan Curry situation unfolded. If you remember, Curry was loaned to Minnesota, and then the Tampa Bay Lightning picked up his rights and wanted him here, and it didn't happen, so Phoenix had to give somebody to Atlanta as a shot Brian on and tipped wide of the net. Brian McReynolds is sort of that future consideration. So here he comes again. McReynolds across the Aero line, sends for Gretzky right in, but that is offsides, and play is whistled down. Brent Gretzky, who definitely younger brother of Wayne Gretzky, but you know, as much as you ask him, he says, well, no, I'm nothing like my brother or anything, but boy, you watch him play and some of the way he skates, he hunches over, the moves, and even the skating stride has a lot of similarities.
First time I saw him, I did a double take, and just the method at which he skates. And by the way, he'll be guesting with us between the first and the second period.
It was funny, he called his father, Walter, in Brantford, Ontario. He says, Dad, I'm having problems with my breakaways. And his father, Walter, treated him no different than he did Wayne. He chewed him out. He says, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, and this is how it's done. Not, that's okay, son, we'll work on it. Chewed him out. Do you think it helped Wayne? I don't know. Maybe. Only the all-time NHL point-scoring leader amongst another million records he's got or whatever. Aeros now have the puck, and they'll bring it to center, 3-on-2. Slivchenko across the line, dropped it left side, Chitteroni. He tried to backhand a centering pass, but Drulia knocked it away. Here comes Stan Drulia across the Aero line. Robinson's got him knocked down as he Lord, the boom, and the puck comes out at center. Nelson turns it up for Drulia, and then snaps it back. First and 10. He thought it was a setup. I believe the center just knocked it back into his own zone. Here is Slivchenko now. Vadim stuttering through the neutral zone and across the line. Vadim getting set, waiting. Now back to the line. Jakes having a little trouble. The puck, he'll toss it into the corner, and around the boards it comes for big Brad Myers. Myers and Freer go at it in the corner, skate to skate. Here's one of those battles. The Aeros trying to win, but Myers wins this one. He'll pop the puck away. Freer still staying with him though. Now Myers, who fell, still has it. He'll clear, not out. Second effort out at center ice. Aeros go back to get it. Kevin Grant in his own zone, and he turned the puck over, but he got it back. He went off one of the Knights, and then he went back to get it as it shot down into the Atlanta zone. Icing indicated as Bannister goes back. He'll touch it and play whistle down. 6:03 to play in the first. We're tied at 1 in our next UPN telecast from the Peoria Civic Center next Saturday night, the night before the final night of the regular season. 7:30 face-off from the Civic Center. Barry Warner, myself will be there. We look forward to having you there. And it's all coming up. Peoria and the Aeros. And how about this light tap along the boards?
Just like his daddy, the former Buffalo Bison from my old hometown, taught him how to do it. His dad, Doug Robinson, has got a couple of Stanley Cup rings for being part of the scouting staff of the Montreal Canadiens, playing in a Calder Cup, a Memorial Cup, and his young son, Robo, has got a Turner Cup championship from his play in the eye.
Here's a drive by Wood, stick save Jablonski, and the Aeros have it. Harkins to center, game tied at 1. Harkins across the line. Harkins cutting in, shot, whistle wide of the net. Boy, he can rip that puck from the off wing. When he comes down that left side with that right-handed shot, he can still rip it. In fact, he scored many a goal on the night from that side. He did Wednesday. Here's a centering pass. That's knocked away. Now Kevin Grant trying to hustle back. Gretzky on his case like a bad habit. And now it's back out at center. Here is Brian McReynolds. Looped it back for Brock Woods. And now Derek Mayer in his own zone. Forecheck by Malgunas. Here's Jim Hiller. Hiller's pass tipped away by Curtis Hunt. And the Aeros come to center. Kevin Grant couldn't find the handle. Knights bring it up. Here's Jim Hiller again across the line. Cutting in a shot. And he was upended on the play. And we're going to get a penalty. Tripping. And I think Kevin Grant is going to get nailed for this. And when we return, we'll bring you the Atlanta Knight power play. Game tied at 1. And we'll be back.
And with the game knotted up at 1 apiece, the Aeros find themselves killing a penalty. Kevin Grant puts the check up, but also gets his stick down. Hiller does the dipsy doodle, and Atlanta, which is number 12 in the league in power plays, has the man advantage.
Off the face-off, the Aeros have got it. Robinson and Jakes defensively. Now we got Eru and Conroy getting into it behind the play. Conroy gives Eru the old glare, and sort of like if your eyes were daggers, you better duck. Here come the Atlanta Knights. Drulia, long pass, just missing Jason Ruff. Jablonski will come out and play the puck away. Now, it's shot to the line, not out, held in by Shaw. Brad Shaw for Drulia, now for Jason Ruff. He'll tip it behind the net. Aeros trying to gather in the puck. Here is Al Conroy. He'll turn, and he'll scoop that all the way down into the Atlanta zone. Wilkinson out of the net. He'll play it over to Stan Drulia. Up the left side, Eru, back Drulia. He's pinned along the boards. It came to the line, not out. Held in, Mayer, Whiting, shooting, and a great glove save by Jablonski, snatching that from the jaws of the twine, and he will hold on. 4:27 to go in the first. This hockey game tied at 1.
And we talked about Jablonski using the wrong hand. That's the terminology that players use to guys who catch with their right hand. And Jabber, wrong hand or right hand, just snares it like a first baseman. And maybe because of the events of today, Paul Bykowski and Aaron Silverman will be broadcasting Major League Baseball with Bagwell and with guys like Plantier and Luis Gonzalez in the not too distant future.
Face off to the left of Pat Jablonski. Hockey game knotted at 1 with 4:27 to play in the first. A minute 13 left in the Kevin Grant minor. Off the face-off, Knights have got Mayer. To the right side, Gretzky. Gretzky now getting set. Back to the line, Mayer. Still the puck, top of the slot. Back over Gretzky. Winding, shooting. A little upstairs, and that'll skim all the way back out at center ice. Derek Mayer goes back into his own zone. Mayer watched by Arneal, feathered one to center. Now Jim Hiller in across the line. Hiller stumbling with a puck. Curtis Hunt had him locked up. Now Gretzky, he's drilled into the corner by Ted Crowley. Now it is Curtis Hunt trying to fish it out of skates in the corner, working hard with 37 on the power play. Shaw jammed it down. It was batted down by Hiller, but the Knights hold it in. Gretzky in the corner, sized up again by Crowley. Dodged the check, puck's loose. Curtis Hunt fighting for it, and the Aeros turn it, they'll clear it down the ice. Good plan, good work, and the Aeros quickly making changes with 3:30 to go in the first. Game tied at 1 and 15 seconds remaining on the power play. This is Drew Bannister with a puck now. Bannister for Atlanta, pass to the left side. It's Brock Woods, lost the puck. Maurice takes over, shoots it back. Maurice trying to find a pass from Robinson. Bannister trying to clear. It came to Harkins. He's belted along the boards, and now the Knights are back. Game still tied at 1 with 3:10 to play in this first. Jason Ruff. Rolled a puck to the right side for Brock Woods. Trying to clear it. Chitteroni took it away. Right in the shot. And Wilkinson with a right pad save, and he will cover up, and he will hold on. Under 3 minutes to go in the first. This hockey game tied at 1, and Derek Wilkinson continues to be stellar in the pipes.
Chitteroni did not get real good wood on, and sometimes that works to the advantage of the shooter and not the goaltender, because the goalie is used to the puck coming off real quick, and it has that knuckleball type of effect. But Chitteroni looks like he got it off the heel of the stick and just kind of poked at it rather than letting it fly.
Fans, if you want to participate in a fun-filled day of golf, then come out to the 1995 Terry Ruskowski Charity Golf Tournament benefiting the Muscular Dystrophy Association. The tournament will take place on June 19th at the Links at Tenwood. For information, call the Houston Aeros corporate office at 621-2842. Barry, I was going to ask you if you've got your sliced ice and puree ready for that one.
Oh, am I ready? You've seen me on the golf course.
Well,
Now, I want to know one thing, Adam. Where do I have a better swing, on the golf course or with a hockey stick in my hand?
that's a loaded question. Here come the Knights now. They'll move it up the right side. Brant Myers trying to clear, cannot. It's Bannister. He scoops a pocket center. It goes back into the Earl zone, and Robinson is back. Here's Steve Jakes now. Pass at center missing Conroy. Campo knocked it back for Atlanta, but the Aeros take over. Robinson steers one to tip it. Swings it into the zone. It's picked up, but offsides. And they'll bring the face-off to center ice with 2:35 to play in the first game, tied at 1, and the Aeros will wrap up their home regular season home schedule on Sunday. Now note the start time, 4 o'clock. The Aeros taking on the Minnesota Moose, and you think that game might have a wee bit of implications on the Central Division? Yeah, I think so.
And how about Stefan Moran with 70 assists on the year? Wow.
Yeah, he is by far he's by far their best player, but he's just so much fun to watch. So be sure to get your tickets. In fact, from what I understand, there may not be any remaining for that hockey. It was a face-off at center ice, and the Aeros win the draw. Here is Carl LeBlanc in his own zone. Pass center ice. Freer moves it up through the neutral zone, but he had it tipped away. Aeros trying to bring it in, delayed offsides. Freer turned back at center and rolled it over to Ted Crowley. Crowley's pass to Slivchenko, ran into Arneal, his own man, and the Knights take over. Meyer lost the puck. LeBlanc trying to clear it. He did out at center. Now it is Brant Myers, but it is whistled dead on an offsides play with 2:11 to go in this first period, tied at 1. And you know, I'm somewhat surprised that John Parrish Jr., the head coach of the Knights, has always kind of publicly said he feels that the Aeros have been the ones to instigate all the past physical play. But I'll tell you, I'm surprised that we haven't seen any thus far from either side.
Well, Pluma's out. He injured his knee, re-injured his knee. And Mike Yeo, who got into that big fight a couple of games back out here, is resting comfortably in Terry Ruskowski's room. Roscoe's so concerned about Yeo, who's had the flu, didn't want Mike Maurice to catch it. He had Yeo come up to his room, and that's where Mike is not watching. He's just sleeping right now.
Here is Brad Shaw in his own zone, and he had it tipped away by Malgunas. Malgunas fighting for it in the near side, but the Knights come up with it. Stan Drulia out through the neutral zone, snapped it into Aero territory. Kevin Grant rejected that. Now the puck near side, and it's overskated by the Knights, and Harkins will shoot it in. Wilkinson out of the net. He'll leave it for Chris Nelson. Pennsylvania, American defenseman, also can play the left wing. He'll clear it out at center, but Curtis Hunt shoots it into the Atlanta zone. Back out is Wilkinson. Here's Nelson again behind the net. He'll start the rush from right to left. Pass out to Heroux. It's knocked away by Maurice, and the Aeros are back. Here's Kevin Grant. Scampers to the right side. He'll put it into the Atlanta zone out of the net. Wilkinson to Nelson. He'll blast it along the boards and all the way down the ice it goes. Jake's back as icing indicated, and he will touch with 1:12 to play in the first game, tie to 1.
Adam, it's good to see Dave Tippett back up. Before the game, Tippett came off with about 7 minutes to go in the warm-ups. I didn't ask him what was wrong. He was in a hurry to get in the training room. I think it may have been his back. He missed a couple of shifts, but the last 2 shifts he's been back on with Al Conroy. So we've got 14, 15, and 16 on the same line.
You know what? I saw Billy Brown, the equipment manager, run off the ice between a face-off with skates. Maybe that's what it was. It almost looks like Tippett skates as I look at Tippett now. I think he may have had Tippett skates, and maybe they just need to be resharpened. I'm just guessing. You know, he has had the bad back, but tell you what, Jerry Mines has done a tremendous job of that. As Robinson is shot and his stick saved by Wilkinson. Loose puck in front, but Hiller will clear it out at center. Jakes at center for Houston. Give it to Mario Chitteroni. He'll man up ice in across the Atlanta blue line. Chitteroni cutting into the slot, belted by Peterson. The puck is cleared. Gretzky after it, but he's all corralled by Dave Tippett. And the Aeros are back. Robinson for Chitteroni. He'll move it through the neutral zone and into the Atlanta zone. It was dropped to the line. Who wants it? Somebody get it. And Brian McReynolds says, I've got it. And the Knights turn it around. Bannister feather the puck into the Aero zone. Steve Jakes will hustle back to play with half a minute to play in this first period. 1-1 game, and a great game tonight. Jakes, right side across the line with Arneal. Jakes trying to center one, but it came right to Jason Roth in the near corner. Al Conroy fighting for it. It came out to Townsend, but he couldn't get the shot away. And the Knights turn and clear. Not out, though. Jakes held it in. Townsend, another shot and a stick save made by Wilkinson. And we've got 10 seconds left in this first period. Aeros shoot the puck into the Atlanta Knights zone. Wilkinson slows and pushed it into the near side. Arneal sends it back to the line. Here is Curtis Hunt with a drive just as the horn sounds. And this period is over. 20 minutes done from the Omni in Atlanta. The Aeros won. The Knights won. And we will chat with Brent Gretzky of the Atlanta Knights next. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Omni in Atlanta. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. A 1-1 game here. And I got to tell you, Barry, we were hoping for a playoff-type game. Do you think we got it?
We've got it. Completely we've got it. You saw the playoff intensity, and you saw also the work of Derek Wilkinson once again.
He is just unbelievable. And again, I know we've been kind of beating this issue to death. He is only 20 years of age. He played for Belleville. He played juniors last year, this kid, and he's playing like a veteran.
Well, the thing that's amazing, you think of guys like him, like Fernandez, like Tommy Saddle. It just underscores the great goaltending and great young talent in the IHL.
You know, and we talked again about Al Conroy. This guy just keeps working and working, and I think it's going to come. He had a couple of good chances. I think it's going to come for him.
And he made one real smart play, too, Adam, because there was a play right at the blue line with about a minute and a half to go. And instead of going in and saying, okay, I'll try to score, he said, nah, we'll go back and I'll just do my checking job. We got another 2 periods to go to light it up.
How about the play of Pat Jablonski?
Did a great job, and that one rebound came out. I want to talk to Gretzky about that when we get in between periods. But the rebound came right out, scored the goal. But other than that, he's looked far sharper than he did the other night in the Summit.
All right, it's a 1-1 game, and we'll have more from Atlanta right after this. Along with Barry Warner, Adam Gordon with you here from the Omni in Atlanta. A 1-1 hockey game. And again, we've talked pretty much to death about how great this game is. You know, the Aeros need a win tonight, and yet they don't clinch a playoff spot. They've got to try and win also Sunday. So obviously fans are going to want to get their tickets. What a game Sunday should be against Minnesota.
You know, Sunday is an air sellout. Jeff Fisher of the Oilers is going to be there. He's been excited because this is the first game he can bring his family to. He's followed the Aeros all season long, and I called into the office to try to get some tickets. And you know what they said? Don't have any left for what you want, Warner.
Let's take a look at that scoring summary from that first period, brought to you by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation. Aeros got on the board first. Mike Maurice, his 19th of the year at .533. Steve Jakes getting the only assist on that goal, and the Aeros had a 1-0 lead. By the way, that goal was scored shorthanded. But the Knights come back, and they tie the game at 1 on a rebound shot. Gretzky took the shot, and then McReynolds got his second as an Atlanta Knight at 11:56, and this hockey game was tied at 1. And again, we saw some good play. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is maybe not as physical as Terry Wiskowski would like.
No, they came out. We saw Robinson with a good check, but I think if we were keeping track of the checks, Atlanta probably has out-hit the Aeros by about a 2-to-1 margin.
You know, I guess a few months back, if you remember hearing in the IHL about Sir Slapshot, who is the Atlanta Knights mascot, and for those of you watching on UPN 20, there he is right there. He got beat up by Don Jackson, the head coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones, and of course that made national news, and he's all right, obviously. Looks all healthy there and entertaining the fans.
It looks like he's about 9 feet tall.
Oh, he is. He's just huge, but he does a wonderful job. And Don Jackson was suspended for like 10 games and fined $1,000. And of course, I used the line by saying he got so upset, I think he punched the Michelin tire guy and now is forced to retire. So
retire.
Yeah,
I like it, Adam.
That's a bad
I like it.
All right, it's a 1-1 game here. And what kind of things do you expect in that second period?
More of the same. Because when I say more of the same, one of the things that the Aeros have done there, they played good fundamental hockey. I think the passing was a little bit better tonight, and you're seeing no fighting. You know, people say the one negative. Anytime you and I go out and talk, people always ask us about the fights, and I say, hey, a well-played, hard-hitting hockey game is where it's at, and we're seeing that tonight. As we get closer to the playoffs, people don't want to take the chance of giving the other team the man advantage.
You know, I was doing an interview before the game, just asking the guys about the playoffs, and I said, in one word, describe the playoffs. It was interesting because Scott Arniel and Dave Tippett, longtime NHL veterans, used the same word: intensity. And I think that pretty well describes the playoffs. It's 1-1 here in the first intermission, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Omni in Atlanta. Adam Gordon with you, and I am joined in this first period intermission by goaltender Rob Dobson on a tremendous hockey game. But before we get into that, I got to ask you, I saw you skating with the ankle. How is it?
It's not too bad. I felt pretty good out there today, and you know, again, it was just good to get back on the ice and see what I could do. I think it's coming along really well. So, unfortunately, we don't have much ice this weekend, but I can get back into action, I think, on Monday. But a little tentative on some turns, but other than that, it's pretty good.
How about the play in that first period?
Well, I think it's good. You know, it's good defensive hockey, and you know, when you talk about playoff hockey, 5 games left, that's the key, is to get some good playoff momentum going. And I think that one thing that we have to improve on in the second period is our turnovers at the blue line. There was a couple of opportunities there where we turned it over. We have to be very careful of that, because as you can see, play can go the other way. On their goal, unfortunately, the defense stood up in a position and pinched when they shouldn't have, and it was a bit of a 2-on-1 going down. But I think Jabber looks a lot more comfortable in there tonight than he did the other night, and I'm looking forward to a good, solid defensive second period.
Yeah, it seems like you were talking about how the team is starting to come together, getting ready for the playoffs. Are you still seeing signs of that?
Oh yeah, I think that's the key. With 5 games left, every team's getting ready for the playoffs. There's going to be call-ups and what have you. And I think if anything, you talk of playoff hockey, it's good defensive hockey, because any goal can hurt you or help you for the rest of the way. And I think that it's important to start building on good defensive hockey from here on in.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights from that first period. They're brought to you by McDonald's. And the first goal, a short-handed goal, and the Aeros just bring it down. It's a good play by Jakes as he just slips it up for Mike Maurice, barreling down the right side, and watch him make the move. He has got a good release here as he cuts in and beats Wilkinson to the far side. You notice Jakes on the far side had Maurice miss. Not necessary. Maurice notches his 19th goal of the year, and the Aeros have a 1-0 lead in this hockey game. But it was not for long. Gretzky across the line. He will take a shot on Pat Jablonski, but nobody on the far side picking up the rebound, which is Brian McReynolds right here. The shot, the goal, and this hockey game is tied at 1. Brian McReynolds, his second goal as an Atlanta Knight. And I'll tell you, that Brian McReynolds played a very strong period. He won some key faceoffs and definitely was a factor. But I'll tell you, that Brett Gretzky also, he always, when the Knights play the Aeros, he's always a factor.
You know, and the same thing there. You look to Mo's goal. Mo was very patient on his shot as well, and Gretzky the same thing. If you looked, you saw the defenseman pinch up on the blue line, and it was a 2-on-1, and he was smart enough just to get the shot. McReynolds driving to the net. And you know, they always say that a shot on goal is never a bad play, and I think that's a prime example of the same thing right there.
Let's take a look at the stats from that first period, brought to you by Billy Blues Restaurant. Shots on goal, 8 apiece, meeting each goalie. Derek Wilkinson And Pat Jablonski making 7 saves, 2 penalties for the Aeros for 4 minutes, 1 penalty for the Atlanta Knights for 2 minutes. The Aeros 0 for 1 on the power play, and the Atlanta Knights 0 for 2 on the man advantage. And quickly, we've talked quite a bit about Derek Wilkinson in goal, 20 years of age. Are you impressed?
I think he's done a tremendous job, and I think one thing that's helped is, and I'll speak from a goaltender standpoint here, is that anytime you get to play in successive nights, and as much as he had, it can only help. You know, you're only a rookie for the first game, so when you get to build on that and play like he's played, I think that the organization has done very well with him. They've built him along, and the key thing with a goaltender is confidence, and when you get to the confidence level, it just builds on that, and I think he's done a good job. But I think that one thing that we have to do as a team going against him is be very patient. You know, you saw Mo being patient there. He was able to get him to go down and commit, and then he was slipped it on the other side. And I think if we're a little bit more patient on our shots, we'll get some good scoring opportunities and hopefully some goals.
Will you stick with us? Help us out in the second period?
I'd love to.
All right, Rob Dobson will stay with us along with Barry Warner. We'll have the second period. Right after this, the game is tied at 1. Welcome back to the Omni in Atlanta. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner, and we picked up a straggler, Rob Dobson, goaltender for the Houston Aeros. He stopped by here. The game tied at 1, and let's take a look at some of the officially licensed Aero apparel. It's called Aeroware, and you're looking at an official Aeros embroidered cap. It has adjustable sizing, so one size fits all. Complement the cap with this great-looking Aeros golf shirt. It's available in sizes medium, large, or extra large. To order, call 1-800-423-2121. The caps are $21.95. The golf shirts are $39.95 plus $4.25 shipping and handling. Call now and receive a free souvenir Aeros hockey puck. 30-day money-back guarantee of satisfaction, so have your credit cards ready. Call 1-800-423-2121. Ask for hockey. Ask for Aeroware.
Adam, having Rob up here right now, does this mean that since he's up here trying to do my job, that maybe I can go down and put the pads on and do yours, Dobber?
Not a chance, Barry. Actually, you know what? We could have used it the other day. We had a couple guys come in from the senior league to fill in. Both Gams and I were out. You know, all I was told was Murray Eves was unavailable for comment today, so it was my job to come in and see what I could do to mess you up. But you don't get my job and I don't get yours.
You know, this Central Division, not the only good battle going on. We've got some other standings that are really cooking in the IHL, and you look at the Midwest Division, Peoria running away with it. 50 wins, 17 defeats, 9 by a shootout loss with 109 points. When this year started, Dobber, did you expect it to be this strong?
No, but the thing about Peoria is that they're always very well coached. They've got a great coach there in McLean, and I think that, you know, we played them a couple games in the early on in the year. We haven't seen them since, and one game in the preseason. They've got some good veteran leadership. Michel Mongeau, they've got some good solid veteran defense in Darren Beach, and you know, that's the key. If you're going to be successful in the International Hockey League, is you build it around solid defense. And I think that one thing Peoria has done, if you look to Denver, the same situation, they've done a great job of it. And you know, I don't think I'm as surprised that they're in first place. I'm surprised that they've done as well as they have, but they do have a tremendous organization and a great hockey team.
Well, when you look at the Southwest Division, you talked about Denver and Tommy Sallow. I think he's going to run away as maybe not only the MVP, but Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he's done a great job, but you know, there's a guy that has a lot of international experience. He played in the Olympics, was a gold medal goaltender in the Olympics, and you know, again, it's a confidence factor. He's played a lot of hockey in front of some veteran defense, and I think that's the key, is you get your confidence going, and they've done such a good job of winning in consecutive nights. It can only help get better, and you know, he's a good player.
And how about the Northern Division too? I mean, Detroit's having the good year. They're tied with the Kalamazoo Wings. Who do you like in that division?
Well, I think I like Kalamazoo. I think, again, you get back to their coaching. Ken Hitchcock is a tremendous coach, and they're always doing things to make their hockey team better. They picked up a couple other players the other day, and if I was to pick a team right now, I'd have to pick Kalamazoo. They've got solid all-around and great goaltending.
Barry, what about you? I mean, you've had a chance to see both Detroit and Kalamazoo.
I like Detroit because of their great speed that they have. I mean, that's a team that just keeps coming at you wave after wave after wave. And I don't dispute about Ken Hitchcock, but Detroit looks like when they want to play the game, boy, oh boy, they are something special.
All right. Well, Rob Dobson.
How come I look so much bigger than you guys? I'm sitting up, Barry, don't worry.
No, this is not Monday Night Football, folks. It's Monday night.
Am I Deerdorf? Which one is Deerdorf?
Here we go. Drop the puck, and we're underway with the second period. Game tied at 1. Puck is in the Aero zone, and here comes Mario Ciccarone. Speeding down the right side. He's bumped by Drulia. Goes into the Atlanta zone, and now it's swept into Houston Aero territory. Jablonski comes out of the net to play it, and now Robinson, he'll play it in behind the net. Robinson rolled it along the boards. Got it by Aru, and now Dave Tippett. Long lead pass, just missing Conroy. Shaw now takes over and hands it to Stan Drulia. The cream of the crop when you look at Stan. He'll shoot it into the Aero zone. Robinson leaves up and out of his zone. A pass left side Tippett. Now it's tipped in. Conroy, right side Chitteroni. Pulls up, waits, turns, now shoots. Craig the crossbar, and they say it's a goal. It is a goal. Wow, that went crossbar and in, and the Aeros take a 2-1 lead. He ripped that so hard I couldn't see it. I wasn't sure, but it's a 2-1 hockey game.
And a great job as we look at the replay of watching Mario Chitteroni and the importance, and Dobber, you can pick this up, of a hockey player being able to use his skate to control the puck. There it is. Great camera work, guys. He kicks the puck out and lets that wrist shot go.
I think that one thing, again, we talked about being patient. Mario's patient. He comes in another step. And when I said about Wilkinson, Al Conroy is a tremendous hockey player, both offense and defensively. Was able to get in and cause a little bit of a screen and force Wilkinson to go down. And, you know, Chitty made a great shot. But again, it's a thing of one man driving to the net.
Now, back come the Aeros again. Arneal. Give it to Curtis Hunt, but they'll say that is offside, and they'll bring the face-off back to center ice. Yeah, Conroy will not get an assist there, but boy, it's good work in front of the net.
I think that that's the key. A few times this season when we've had trouble scoring goals is that we were really hesitant on driving to the net, and Al did a tremendous job to get there.
Chitteroni, a huge goal there for Chitter, because the other night, Adam, I think in the game that you and Russ did, he hit the crossbar in the third period.
Well, there was a lot of, it was not only Chitteroni, but Crowley had one as well. Off the face-off, Knights have got it. Brock Woods back in his own zone. Mayer slipped it out at center. Aeros lead it 2-1 here, and we're just underway in the second period. Now, Brock Woods can't clear Arneal, moving it down. He's bumped by Woods. Jim Hiller will clear it out at center, and here comes McReynolds. A blue line slap shot, and Jablonski's down. He'll steer it into the corner. First one there, though. Hiller sends it in front for Gretzky, but he couldn't find the handle. Gretzky's got it in the far corner, sent it in, and it just goes out of the net. Now the puck to the line. Brock Woods held it in. Down the side, Hiller back to the line. A drive high and wide. It came out in front. A centering pass. A shot is blocked. Loose in front, and the Aeros shoot it down. Good defensive play by Freer, and an equally good play by Curtis Hunt to pick up the puck and get it down the ice. 18 minutes, 16 seconds to play in the second period. A 2-1 game, and it's Gretzky. Across the line with Hiller. Gretzky getting set. Now McReynolds had it knocked away, and it's out at center ice. It's kind of interesting to see Gretzky playing with Hiller because, of course, Brent's older brother, Wayne, played with Jim Hiller with the LA Kings organization. Now, Ted Crowley behind the cage. Whipped it along the boards. It'll go all the way down the ice. Icing indicated. Bannister goes back to touch, and icing is the call. 2-1 Houston.
Dobber, when you have a situation with a goaltender like a Jablonski, do you and Troy Gamble try to educate him on a team like the Atlanta Knights?
I think that one thing with Jabber is the fact that he hasn't played all that much this year. He's only had 4 starts, and when he comes into a situation, you know, it's coming into a new team, you're thrown right into the fire. You don't want to fill his head with too many thoughts, and his job is more or less just to go out and stop the puck. And he's a veteran player. He's been around the eye a few years and a lot in the NHL, so you just kind of let him go about his own business and stay away from him.
Did he look like he was getting a little tired in that Wednesday game to you?
Well, you know, it's only normal. You know, you can practice all you want and ride the bike, excuse me, as much as they would like you to, but game shape is different, and you just have to play. There's nothing beats playing.
Face off to the left. Pat Jablonski. Todd Harkins against Aaron Gavey, and the stick's down. Harkins wins the draw. Carl LeBlanc in the near corner. Worked it along the near side, and now Mike Maurice, who's got a goal in this hockey game. Jammed it at center for Harkins. 2-on-1. Right in. Shooting. And Wilkins. And that glove save, and he'll hold on. 2.5 played in the second period, and the Aeros lead it 2-1. And again, Todd Harkins. I can't think of anybody on this Aero hockey team that can get that shot off on the off wing better than him.
He has got such great quickness and strength. Don't forget, this guy is 6 feet 3 inches tall. Was recruited by Ohio State as a linebacker. As we take a look at another 6 foot 3 inch kid, Carl LeBlanc. Pete Deneen said he spoke to 5 coaches down in the IHF, in the Eastern Hockey League, and they said he was the toughest defenseman down there with what's being up here.
Face off to the right of Derek Wilkinson, and the Knights win the draw. Here is Brad Shaw. He'll play the puck now. Shaw, stick handling, he rolled it up, and he turned the puck over, but I don't think Conroy expected that, and Wilkinson says, hey, I've seen enough of this, I'll cover up and hold on, and he'll hold on with face off back to his right.
We take a look at the face-off. That's one area where Charlie Ruskowski was very concerned the other night against Atlanta, was the fact that the Aeros did not do the job against Heroux that he would like. How important is it to have a face-off won by a guy like a Conroy, especially in the offensive zone there, Dobber?
That picks up a lot for us, and I think that's one of the areas that we were concerned about going into tonight is the offensive, but mainly defensive draws.
Now off the face-off, Aeros go back. Robinson will play in his own zone. Tippett, center ice. It's played by Aaron Bowe, and he'll turn in his own zone. Aaron Bowe through the neutral zone, a long lead pass, and Ruff's in. Right down the side, shoots, scores! Jason Ruff, and this hockey game is tied at 2.
Caught up ice was Steve Jakes, who lost an edge and fell down, and Ruff, who's got such a great shot. He's so physical and has that powerful shot off the wing. As we take a look at it from the defensive zone, Dobber, what goes through a goaltender's mind when you see a guy like Jason Ruff coming down like this?
Well, this is a play where you just have to kind of play it as a 2-on-1. You see Jabber kind of got caught a little bit going to his glove side. I think maybe he thought he had the angle covered on the short side, but again, it's a 2-on-1. The job is to play the shooter. Here's a reverse angle coming down. You know, you give a guy like Ruff a chance to shoot from there, and that's a pretty good angle. 9 times out of 10 he's going to score, and unfortunately he did. But again, we made a turnover at the blue line, which is costly.
It wasn't the 10th time, or it'd still be 2-1, but the game is tied at 2, and here is Jason Ruff. Ruff back in his own zone, working out to the near side stand. Drulia now, Aeros across the line, centered, but it went off the skates of Kevin Grant. Now in the corner again, Jason Ruff turning, base of the right circle, behind the net. Aeros looks for Drulia, stop shot, blocked, loose in front, and a good job by Slivchenko to tie up Jason Ruff. Now the puck for Mark Freer. He'll turn to the right side, pass center ice. Arneal rolled off his stick. Now the Knights bring it in. Ruff pulling to his right, a wrist shot that Curtis Hunt got in front of. Drulia in the corner. Drulia in there, base of the left circle to Ruff. A one-time shot and a stick save by Jablonski. Centering pass is knocked away. Now the Knights starting to put on a little bit of the pressure as it's Jason Ruff. And it back to the line, but Slivchenko cleared it, and then Slivchenko trying to draw a penalty, but he's going to need more than a pen and a pencil to draw a penalty like that as the puck goes down the ice. And here go the Aeros. Kevin Grant is back. Oh, they misplayed the puck. Icing waved off a shot. Jablonski stopped it. And Scott Arneal will shoot it ahead. Back at center. Bannister to Peterson. Back to Bannister. 15:45 to go in the second. Game tied at 2. Myers centered. It was knocked away by Curtis Hunt. Hunt in the far corner. Jammed it along the board. Picked up by Freer. He'll skate it up and out of his own. A long lead pass to Arneal. Arneal moving it up the left wing, and he'll dump it into the Atlanta Knights zone. 4.5. Played in the second. And the puck in behind the net. Here is Townsend turning. Back to the line. The block wide. Shoots deflected. Here's Maurice. The shot. Wilkinson stacked the pads. And he will cover up and he will hold on and we'll take time out. 15:18 to go in the second. This game tied at 2. We'll be right back.
Ruff's goal making it a 2-2 game, and people think of goals, they think of Mark Freer, but Freer does an excellent job. Oh, excuse me, we've got Maurice there. That was the play that Graham Townsend took the puck from behind the cage. Here we go. Here comes Freer on this particular play out of absolutely nowhere as they try to stuff it in. Here comes Freer against a much bigger player in Gabby and takes him out of the play, and the Aeros get the puck up ice.
I think that's important to note is that the centerman's job is to stay in the middle and take up any garbage, as we call New York garbage, as Terry would say, in front of that net. And Furzy, and I think one thing about Al Conroy that he does so well is play defensive hockey, and you know Mark Freer's the same way as he's back to pick up his man. And one quick point is that after a goal is scored, it's very important that we fight back on the next shift and battle back, and I think it's something we really have to key on. The other night we didn't do very well, and again tonight we kind of got a little panicky in our own zone.
Off the draw, the Knights have got it, and it's rolled back to the left side for Ted Crowley. Couldn't hold the puck in, or did he? Yeah, they say he did. Now the puck lodged into Derek Wilkinson, and he will hold on. On April 18th, 1995, the Wild West gets a lot wilder. MacGyver's Richard Dean Anderson makes his long-awaited return to network television in legend. The Old West is new and improved April 18th on the United Paramount Network.
This is an interesting line, Dabber, with Harkins, with Maurice and Malgunas. What does that do for a goaltender when you see some muscle guys out there?
Well, you know, I think what Terry is trying to do here is one of the jobs, I think, when we play a good solid game is we hit a lot, and this line's out there to hit, you know, Malgunas and Maurice. But with Hark and Mo, you've got some great snipers out there, so you have to be aware of everyone at all times.
Now the puck along the far boards. Here's Jason Ruff. He'll bank it out at center, and it's turned around by Kevin Grant. It's a 2-2 game. 5 minutes gone in the second. Here comes Maurice across the line. Maurice down the left side, center. But it just went wide of a breaking Kevin Malgunas. Now the Knights at center. Here is Shaw to Ruff, right in. Ruff trying to spin around Kevin Grant, but that night was told good night Irene by Grant, and he'll take over. Grant to the near side, Maurice, he'll clear it out at center. Now Aaron Bowe at neutral ice, watched by Malgunas. Bradshaw up the left side for Aeros. Yves Aeros to Ruff, a quick shot just skimming wide of the net. Now it is Julia, pounded in there by Harkins. Back to the line, Shaw, a drive, stick save made by Jablonski. And the Aeros will turn, not out though. Shaw, another drive, pinballed wide of the net. And now it is Kevin Malgunas for the Aeros. Quick pass for Maurice, couple of guys to beat. Maurice turning it center, dropped it for Curtis Hunt. Waits now, trying to get a shot away. Instead, he will center, and Chitteroni couldn't get a shot away. Good try though. It's Maurice a drive. That's deflected wide of the net. And the Knights will turn and get it out at center, and the Aeros will have it. Carl Levno into the Atlanta Knights zone, but Bradshaw is there, and he'll clear it out at center. Jim Hiller takes a bump from Conroy. Shaw with 13:39 to go in the second period. Game tied at 2, rips it down the ice. Icing indicated as the Aeros go back. Crowley to touch, and play is whistled down. And yes, the playoffs are just around the corner, and you're saying, how do we get tickets? Well, they are on sale, 7-game packages, and they're less than $50, and you can call right now. Operators are standing by. 627-AERO. 7-game playoff packages. And Mr. Dobson, do you have yours yet?
No, I don't.
Barry?
I got mine.
So you're set up.
I'm all set up.
What did you pay, Barry? 150?
Dabber, cash. As we take a look at Conroy on the face-off, the importance, you notice how low to the ice Al Conroy is.
He's a Murray Eves type centerman.
Here's a puck at center. Chitteroni a drive, and there was Wilkinson to get in front of it. LeBlanc couldn't hold the puck in, and the Aeros have to go back. Ted Crowley in his own zone. Quick pass, snap to center, and Mario Chitteroni stops on a dime, circles up ice, give it over to Conroy, in over the line, lost the puck, and the Knights go back. Brock Woods, he'll roll it near side for Jim Hiller. He'll turn to clear, but not out. LeBlanc held it in with a drive. That's blocked, and Hiller's got it out at center ice for Gretzky. Gretzky hits the line with McReynolds. Gretzky centered a pass for Mayer. He's scraped off the puck, and Chitteroni will bank it all the way back into the Atlanta Knights zone. Brock Woods to center. And it is Hiller, steers one for Gretzky behind him, and now Crowley. Ted Crowley at the center ice area, hits the line. Crowley rolled it over to Conroy. Now Chitteroni, top of the slot, back to Conroy, winding, shooting, and a glove save made by Wilkinson, and he will hold on. 12:40 to go in the second. Game tied at 2. Don't go away.
Dabber, it's a 2-2 game. You talk about the gray area. What's going on here?
Well, this is a play where Al Conroy off the wing gets a good shot, but see Wilkinson with the big glove save. I don't know if he made a big save or was just in good position, but that's a good shot for Al to take. If there's a rebound, we've got a guy driving to the net, and it's just a matter of the defenseman staying in and holding the line and keeping the puck in. It was a good play.
Face off to the left of Derek Wilkinson. If you're just joining us, Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner and Rob Dobson, who's nursing the sprained ankle. He says, Adam, I've always wanted to work with you and Barry, and so we've granted him, I'm sure, his second lifelong dream. You're doing your lifelong dream right now, playing goal.
Most guys want to go to Disney World. I just wanted to work with you too.
Here's Jake shooting at a puck high and wide. Now Freer overskated the puck, and McReynolds will turn along the boards. It's getting thick in the press box as the Knights move it up now. It is Aaron Gavey across the line. Dropped it back. Bannister drive, sticks a rebound, score! Do you believe it? Grant Myers. They're complaining that he kicked it in, but I think it's going to count. And Myers has his 3rd goal in 2 games. But now they're going to talk about it. I with the linesman here. Scott O'Neill went right on him.
Well, I think here's a play where you got the guy driving to the net, but makes no attempt to get it with his stick. I'm not sure what the replay will show, but from our vantage point or viewpoint, it looked to be kicked into me. And this is one of the things where they worry about replay. But here's a shot off the wing. Jobber makes the play. There's no attempt there with his stick. He's stopping and kicking the puck in. Obviously no goal. Good call by the man in the boot.
And the replay clearly shows, and for those of you watching on UPN 20, Barry, watch the right skate coming up here on Brant Myers as he kind of redirects it. Right there.
Right.
See?
Yep.
That's a good call.
We saw that against Kansas City a few weeks ago, except this time they used the replay. John Paris, you're a heck of a guy, a terrific motivator and coach, but you're wrong, dead wrong in this particular case, John.
I don't think Robert Shapiro can help him here.
Nor will Johnny Cochran help him either.
Marsha Clark's my vote.
Let's take a look once again. Our guys from the UPN 20 Vision crew getting us these great pictures down below. And clearly there's right at the top of the crease, there is the skate. You don't see any wood, any fiberglass, it's just the skate.
Here's a play that I think that we could probably learn from, although the goal is disallowed. That man has to be picked up. You cannot let a man go untouched to the net. You're taught to drive to the net, but he still has to be picked up. We had 2 or 3 green sweaters just standing around watching. Jabbers hasn't played in a while, and his rebound control isn't all that great.
Puck is played by Atlanta in their own zone, so it's still a 2-2 game with 8 minutes gone in the second. Myers trying to clear. Curtis Hunt a drive way wide, goes into the corner. Maurice turning to the right side. He's scraped by Peterson. Now Townsend fishes it out. Townsend to the line. He gave it to Harkins. Couldn't get a shot away, and then Harkins tripped up by Campbell. Play going on. Here come the Knights. Bannister right side. Woo! Given a rough ride by Townsend. And here come the Aeros. Maurice cutting in, waiting, shooting, and he'll lob it up and out of play.
There's a good 2-on-1. Hark breaks down the wing. Mo kind of got caught up a little and slowed down, and the defenseman made a good play to cover him up and then knock the puck out of play. But there's a good turnover, but it comes from a good hit.
And Mike Maurice, who got on the Aeros on the board with goal number 1, playing more physical.
Next telecast coming up on UPN 20 will be from the Peoria Civic Center Saturday night at 7:30. And be sure to join Barry Warner and myself, and hopefully Mr. Dobson will be down on the ice instead of up here. Tell you what, I've seen some pretty good hits at the blackjack table, but how about this one?
Graham takes control, and he's a big man when he hits and is physical. It creates a lot of turnovers.
Face off to the right of Derek Wilkinson.
And Al Conroy out there to take the draw, and that once again, how low he gets to the ice. He gets the opportunity to cheat and follow through.
Off the face-off, Knights have got it. Shaw looped it to Aaron Bowe through the neutral zone, a pass Drulia, but he's tied up by Dave Tippett. Now Robinson steers it back for Tippett left side, and he cleared it out at center, but Shaw spiked it into the Aeros zone. Here is Mario Chinneroni now. He'll slip it out to center. Conroy to Tippett. Tippett turning, and he'll launch it into the Atlanta Knights zone. 2-2 game. Aaron Bowe in his own zone, watched by Chinneroni. They play peekaboo behind the net. And now it is Brad Shaw to the right side. Drulia, pumped by Robinson. And Tippett comes in there fighting for it. Jason Ruff shouldered by Conroy. And the puck squirts free. Ruff rolled it into the Aeros zone as Conroy getting into it with Drulia, but Jakes is back. Jakes along the boards, pounded into the corner. Jason Ruff has it, cutting behind the net. Ruff and Conroy skate to skate behind the net. Conroy about 4 or 5 inches smaller, but he's playing like he's an equal, and he'll tie him up as Jablonski covers up. 10.5 to go in this second period, in the game tied at 2.
Conroy showing he's not going to back down as tempers start to flare a bit. We saw Dobber playoff type hockey with a lot of clutching and grabbing. Are you surprised it's kind of escalating right here?
No, I don't. And the other thing I think is the fact that we played this team the other night. That you noticed it against Milwaukee when you play teams in successive nights, a lot of tempers flare, and that's the fun of the playoff. Get a lot of rivalries between players and what have you.
That had a great name though for Jason, the last name of Ruff, because he is a very rough and rugged player. Got great size for a winger.
Yeah, he is, and he's been a great player in this league for a long time. He came up and did a tremendous job for Atlanta last year, and has continued his play this year.
Well, the Aeros win the battle there because Steve Jakes goes out, but you take Drulia, their leading scorer, off the ice.
Don't miss out on the Houston Aeros last regular season home game. It's fan appreciation day. Every fan entering the summit will receive a cheer card autographed by the entire team. Also be giving away Billy Joel Elton John concert tickets, lottery tickets, Aeros autographed merchandise, movie passes, and we'll even be giving away a home. A whole new meaning to a home game, folks. Join the Aeros this Sunday when they take on the Minnesota Moose at 4 o'clock.
Dauber, how surprised have you been and your teammates at the fans and how they've gotten into the Aeros this year?
Oh, it's tremendous, and from a player standpoint, every time you get to go and play at the summit, it's a real treat because you know that there's going to be anywhere from 12 to 16,000 people rooting you on. And coming from the small market of Muskegon and then on to Cleveland, which was bigger, yet the fans weren't there. This is just a tremendous. I think the Aeros front office and stuff have just done an incredible job so far this season.
Game tied at 2. Carl LeBlanc in his own zone. A pass to the right side for Crowley. He'll jam it out at center, and Aaron Bowe's got to hustle back. Miners, DeDrulia, and Jakes. I don't know, is that a fair trade? I'll take Jakes for Drulia anytime. As well as Jakes has played, I'll tell you what, you'd get a 100-point guy off the ice. It's not a bad trade at all for 2 minutes. Here's Arneal now across the line. Arneal trying to center one. Finding for it is Freer, but he's spun off the puck. And here is Gretzky to Brad Shaw. Rolled it to Jim Hiller across the line. Hiller pulled up right point. Got it to Gretzky. He's checked by Arneal. And now it is Ted Crowley. Crowley circling in his own zone off the forecheck of Hiller now. He'll skate it up and out and get it to the right side for Arneal. Scott Arneal, a pass tipped away by Gretzky, and he'll go back into his own zone. 4-on-4 hockey for another minute 4. Here come the Atlanta Knights. Hiller right side and across the line, tipped away, and the Aeros have got it. Maurice, he's belted by Nelson, and the Aeros have to go back. Gretzky, though, for Atlanta, right side, a rink-wide pass for Hiller, in across the line, waiting, shooting, deflected, and Jablonski will stick it aside right behind the net. He had a little trouble with it, and he says, hold on, and that's exactly what he'll do as we take a timeout. There's 9:14 to go in the second, and this hockey game's tied at 2. We'll be right back. Back to action here in the Omni. Adam Gordon, Barry Warner, Rob Dobson, and a 2-2 game. I don't think you can ask for anything better. Here is a pass at center. And the Knights have got it. Mayer, a pass intercepted by Robinson. Turned around. Harkins takes over, though. And he'll circle back at center. Shoot the puck into the Atlanta Knights zone. Out of the net it is Wilkinson. Leaves it for Derek Mayer. Quick pass to the right side for Jason Ruff. And it slides into the Aeros zone. Carl LeBlanc is back, and icing is the call.
4-on-4 is great also from the standpoint of a skater as both Julia and Jakes come out because, let's face it, there's more open ice, Dauber, so you guys aren't screened as much, and a guy has an opportunity to be a little bit more creative.
Yeah, I think that's a couple of years ago they tried it with the coincidental penalties instead of playing 5-on-5, and it's here now as well when you go 4-on-4. And what it does is it creates, as you mentioned, a lot more room on the ice. It's a little tougher to play because, again, on a 4-on-4, it's a man-on-man situation. So if there's an odd man break coming the other way, someone has missed their cue, and it's very important that guys play that, and let's get into a lot of switches.
You like the playoffs? Have you got your tickets yet? 7-game packages on sale. 627 AERO. 7-game playoff package starting for less than $50. There's operators standing by right now. I'm telling you. John Blum, Mark Shane Brown, the rest of the ticket crew saying, please give me a call. I'd love to take your call. Give them a call, 627 AERO, and get your playoff tickets right now. Face off to the right of Wilkinson. And the Knights have got it. Here is Bannister. Roll the puck to the left side, and Aaron Gavey at center, knocked away by Tippett. He'll drill it back into the Atlanta zone. What a hockey game tonight. Game tied at 2. Tippett in the corner fighting with Brant Myers. Gives him about 7 inches, but not in height. Now the puck turned, Chinaronia drive, and that was cycled off some skates, and Brian McReynolds will take off to center ice. McReynolds left side, who has one of the Atlanta Knights goals, along with Jason Ruff. Drilled it into the Aeros zone. Back is Crowley, and then he is just unloaded on like a bad habit by Aaron Gavey. Knocked him into next Thursday, but he got right back into the play. Tough play, too. Now the puck for Conroy in the corner. He's wrestled away by Campo, but shakes off the check. Right in the shot, he scores! Al Conroy, top shelf where Grandma keeps the peanut butter. 3-2 Aeros.
Dauber, when you were downstairs working out, we opened the telecast and we highlighted Al Conroy. Said he has not scored, and I jumped in at him and I said, yeah, but the key word there is yet. And I said tonight is the night he's going to get one. Terry Ruskowski today gave him the offense to talk about. Diver, pick it up from here as he works and works.
It's just a question of Al being strong on the puck. He's a great player. He's been, been around for a long time. He outmuscles the guy in the corner, works his way in front, very patient. Again, waits for Wilkinson to go down. And I said it in the break. If you're patient on this goaltender, he will commit, as the young guys do, and you can score. But again, Al Conroy just outworked the entire Atlanta Knights team there for that goal.
Now the puck back in the Atlanta zone. This is a 3-2 game. Puck was centered. Batted down with some high sticks, but the Knights have got it. Aaron Poe to center, but it was swept away by Jakes. Now back is Graham Townsend. Townsend to Robinson. Give it to Arneal. And now Robinson takes over. So Conroy first goal is a Houston Aero. And the Aeros bring it up ice. His 19th of the year, though. Here's Townsend a drive. That was blocked by Bo. Now in there's Freer trying to fish it out. Freer, base of the left circle. Now center chest, jammed away by Shaw. Now Arneal worked it behind the net. Here is a pass. It was Druya, but he flipped it right to Freer in the corner. Fighting with a former teammate of his in Ottawa, Brad Shaw. Now the puck was center, knocked away by Wilkinson. Puck comes to the near side. Robinson trying to get to it, but it's taken by the Knights and shoveled all the way down the ice. No icing, though. It's waved off. Jakes hustles back into his own zone. Now starts up ice. Steve Jakes from right to left. In his own zone, had it pushed away by Druya. He had to go back to play it. Jakes spanks it along the boards. It was knocked down by Yves Roux, but the Aeros come away with it. And they'll race to center. Freer across the line. Freer looking for the pass. He's locked up. Jason Ruff turns back in his own zone, trying to clear the puck, and it's out at center for Roux. Rolled it right side. Derek Mayer trying to move it down the side. Hiller centered. Here's the shot. Oh, it was tipped away at the last second. Never made it to Jablonski. Now Freer again trying to work it into the Atlanta zone, but he was late in the shift. Needed to come off for a line change. Mayer, left side, center. The shot blocked. Gretzky couldn't get it away. Harkins now. He'll romp the center ice. 3-on-2 if he hurries to Slivchenko. He'll go right in on goal. The shot just grazed the side of the net, and we're going to get a whistle and a penalty. A slashing minor with 5:46 to play.
Slivchenko surprised me a little bit there because Wilkinson came out to cut off the angle, and if Vadim had slowed down just a little bit, Diver, I think he'd have had the whole left side open.
You know, it was a good play, and it stems the whole scoring opportunity comes back to our own defensive end. Both Mike Maurice and Todd Harkins are back getting coverage down low. Creates a good opportunity going the other way. And you know, one thing that Slivy has is he's got so much speed and so many different ranges of speed there. He was unable to get by the guy, but you know, again, a shot on net is never a bad shot. If he hits that right on the net, we did have a guy driving to the net on the other side, but unfortunately he wasn't able to get it on the net.
You know, we've talked about the power play, and you look at the stats and you'd think it had been struggling as of late, but I just see signs like it's going to break loose. You've been moving the puck a lot better.
I don't think that we're right now taking enough shots on goal. One thing that Graham Townsend adds is a screen in front. Well, we weren't doing a very good job of it the other night. I think we were trying to move it around the outside too much, and you really have to key on a shot, because if they box it out really well, you're not going to get too many chances down low, so a shot on net's very important.
Face off to the left of Derek Wilkinson in a 3-2 game.
Interesting, Harkins, the center, is out there, and he'll now take the draw as Freer gets thrown out. But you got two centers out there, and why Harkins? Because of his size and because of his ability to get that great wrist shot from the slot.
Face off again, won by the Aeros. Crowley jams it down. Freer, base of the right circle, back to Crowley to tip it, top of the slot, right back to Crowley. Wide, shoots, and it was deflected. Now Dave Tippett again at a left point. Sliced it down for Freer, base of the left circle, and he's given a rough ride by Alan Peterson. And there's Harkins trying to get it out of there, and it's fished out by Arneal. Arneal turning in the left circle, tossed it for Harkins. Couldn't pull the trigger, though. Harkins down low for Freer. Waiting now, trying to circle back away from Peterson to Harkins, sends it back, Tippett. He waits, he winds, he shoots, blocked, rebound, loose in front. It comes to Crowley. Jams it into the corner for Arneal. 1:20 left of the power play. Arneal, base of the right circle. He drifts back to the hash marks. Now playing the two-man game. Freer now center. Tippett shooting. He scores! Dave Tippett from Freer and Arneal. Power play goal. Aeros lead it 4-2.
Diver, you talked about it. We alluded to it at the opening of the telecast. The Aeros needed to get more creative and get more movement, and they did a great job there of moving. And Harkins did an excellent job there because he faked, he kept pounding, bringing his stick up. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And very Harkins has got that stick up. Give me the puck, give me the puck. And then from the back side, the blind side, here comes Here's Tippett with a great pass, a superb shot by Dave Tippett, and his buddy Conroy scores. Now moments later, here comes Tippett.
Sorry, Adam, that's a good play. Furzy sees him coming in, but again, we're creative. Tibbsy comes in. He's not just hanging back at the blue line. He's creating an odd man situation down low, and just a great offensive play.
Curtis Hunt off the draw. Shoots it down. Icing indicated. Shaw gets there. It's waved off, though. They say that Chitteroni beat him to the puck. Boy, you don't ever see Chitteroni hustle like that, huh? I say that facetiously. That guy just keeps moving and moving and moving. Now the puck at center ice. Curtis Hunt along the far boards, but now taken over by Jason Ruff. Circles back to his own blue line. Pass Aeros off the mark, and now Hunt sends it up ice, but it's back into the Atlanta Knights zone. Chris Nelson trying to find Julia, knocked away by Tippett. Here's Chitteroni. He's locked up and got the puck. Cuts in, waits. Couldn't get a shot away. Good defensive play by Nelson. But now it's fished out by Chitteroni. For Dave Tippett. Quick shot blocked by Brad Shaw. And he'll move it to the right side for Stan Julia. Julia at center ice. Rolling it down the left side and across the line. Julia getting sent in the shot. Ooh, and it was stuck aside by Jablonski. And now Maurice. Center ice. Townsend couldn't find the handle. And Brock Woods takes over. Goes into the Aeros zone. Out of the net, Jablonski. And he'll stick handle it to the left side, Maurice. Back at center, Campo. Trying to bring it up ice, but now it is Curtis Hunt who takes over. Hunt. A pass that hit Townsend. He'll tip it ahead for Harkins. Skating into the zone. Harkins rolled it over. Here's the shot by Maurice. And a save made by Wilkinson. And we take timeout. 3:32 to go in the second. 4-2 Aeros. We'll be back.
Diver, what does it mean to this team to have the veteran leadership and finally get Conroy, who's been a nemesis to the Aeros when he's worn the Detroit sweater, and Tippett both with back-to-back goals?
You know, it's very important for our hockey club. If you look to a few games before when we were having trouble scoring goals, you know, Furzy was in a slump for a little while, and you know, when you can get some offensive stuff from Tibbs and Al Conroy, it just kind of adds another weapon to your arsenal.
Off the face-off, Knights have got it. Rockwood's a pass, goes through the neutral zone and into the Aero end. Jablonski steers for Ted Crowley. Crowley now will wait and start the rush. They'll break it out from right to left. Here is Crowley. He'll cut to the near side, skate it out at center, and shovel it into the Atlanta Knights zone. It will bounce right to Wilkinson, but the Aeros in ahead, off sides in play, is whistled down. With 16:53 gone in the second period. Hey, the time to give blood, play hockey, some more Aero wear. Official cap is white with with the team embroidery. It's adjustable and constructed in wool for a comfortable fit for any Aeros fan. Complement the cap with the Give Blood, Play Hockey t-shirt, available in sizes medium, large, or extra large. To order, call 1-800-423-2121. Cap sell for $21.95. T-shirts are $14.95 plus $4.25 shipping and handling for order. Order now, receive a free souvenir Aeros hockey puck. Back to action. Arneal down the left side, fighting for it with Brock Woods. They go hard at it. Now Arneal trying to center it. Woods knocked it away. Freer's got him tied up. Now here's Myers, and his pass is at center, but knocked away by Robinson. Out of the net, Derek Wilkinson. He'll leave it for Brock Woods. He stumbled, fell, but got it over to Derek Mayer. Mayer to Gavey. Down the left side, he's wrapped up by Arneal, and now Myers cutting in, looking to center for Campo, but that was blocked by Rob Robinson. Myers, who had the 2 goals Wednesday night. Tell you what, when he plays, he can play rough, but he also has a little bit of ability. But the Aeros now have a 2-on-1 break the other way. Arneal with Chitteroni. Arneal to Chitteroni, the pass, and it just was tipped wide. A great pass, and Chitteroni almost converted. Now the puck near side. Gretzky, but couldn't clear. Now Conroy, right in, waiting, shooting. Wilkinson stopped it, rebound. That goes wide of the cage, and here comes Myers. He'll gallop to the neutral zone. Myers across the line, shoots, stick safe by Jablonski. Jake's in his own zone now. A quick pass to Tippett. 3-on-3, Tippett shoots it into the Atlanta zone, and Aaron Bow goes off, but the Aeros will make changes on the fly. Here is Atlanta. Bradshaw into the Aeros zone, Jake's turn, sweeps to the line, not out. Held in Bow. Looped it into Hiller. Now Shaw, shot blocked by Harkins. It came to center. Jim Hiller hoists the puck into Aero territory. It'll go back for Curtis Hunt. He's pushed in there by Gretzky. Now fighting for it, Harkins. And it comes up to Mike Maurice. Maurice, a pass to Graham Townsend. He'll wait now, cut to the slot, lost the puck. And he'll turn to the right side. Townsend on a shot that was blocked. I think he hit his own man Maurice right in the entrails. 1:11 to go. in the second. 4-2 Houston. Gretzky shoots it into the Aeros zone. Back goes Robinson, and he'll play it. Rob Robinson, he'll bring it from right to left. A pass to the near side for Kevin Grant. Grant brings it into the Atlanta zone. Out of the net, it is Derek Wilkinson. Leaves for Mayer. Mayer chipped it along the boards, and here is Jason Rubb. Bannister to Mayer across the line. Mayer cutting in, a shot wide of the net. 40 seconds to play in the period. Aeros lead 4-2, and here comes Mark Freer at center ice. Freer across the line with Arneal, lost the puck, got it back, and it was finally taken by Drulian, cleared at center ice. Now, the Knights, Aeros, left wing into the Aeros zone. Dodged a Grant check partially, was still managed to catch a piece of that check, and Robinson gives to Arneal. Can he clear it? No. Held in by Drulia. Centered. Here's Jason Ruff turning. Can't get the shot away. Time down to 13 seconds in the period, and the Aeros will just shoot it back at center, and that should just about do it. Aaron Bull. A pass goes into the Aeros zone, and that'll do it. Out of the net, Jablonski, 2 seconds, horn sounds, and this period is over. And again, an outstanding period.
That was a good period for our team. You know, we said in the first, kind of a little slow, feeling each other out. A lot of turnovers both at the blue lines on both ends, but this period was great for us. We really attacked the zone well. We got some good shots. We got some key goals from veteran players, and I look forward to the third.
Barry, you were talking about the top of the cast about physical play, and I think it showed up in that period.
Well, it definitely did, and I thought that Graham Townsend, even though he doesn't have a point, has really been sacrificing his body. And then down here in the sideboards, when they had a two-man advantage, 2 men on the puck, number 9, Harkins, came in and just showed why he was so highly sought after. And when he wants to put his body and throw his body around, he makes his presence felt.
All right, guys, 2 periods are done, and we'll have more from the Omni right after this. 4-2, Houston. Welcome back to the Omni in Atlanta. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. A 4-2 hockey game, and it does feel like a playoff type hockey game. But of course, you know, I talked to Troy Gamble before tonight's game. I says, what is the difference between now and the start of the season? He says, defense is what wins games, and that is why we've brought in big rugged defenseman Kevin Grant, who joins us here in the second period intermission. Kevin, that's an excellent hockey game going on tonight. Talk a little bit about that second period, would you?
Well, after the first period, we came in tight, and we decided, we had a big talk this morning, that this is our playoffs for us right now, and we have to take control of our own destiny, and you can't just turn it on and off like a light. So we have to build right now for our first round playoff.
Kevin, we talked earlier about how you guys had to own the blue line. Do you feel you made some adjustments there after the first period and really did the job at the blue line?
Well, yeah, there's no doubt about it. The thing is that it's not just the 2 defensemen that are playing defense out there. It's all 5 guys, and when the forwards come back and pick up their men, it makes it a lot easier for us defensemen.
Talk a little bit about Pat Jablonski. I mean, here's a guy you're so used to playing with Troy Gamble and Rob Dobson. Now all of a sudden you've got Pat Jablonski. Is there a little bit of an adjustment defensemen have to make?
Well, the only adjustment is it's a little bit easier playing with nothing to take away from Rob and Gams, but you know, Pat plays the puck very well, and that's why he's been in the NHL for a few years now. He's like having an extra defenseman back there, and sometimes you have to peel off instead of going back and get it, and it's kind of a nice treat every once in a while.
Kevin, you told me you lost only 5 pounds, but to me it looks like 15. You look much leaner. What has that done to your game?
Well, anytime you're going to lose weight, it's a little bit easier to push around, and this happens to me every spring. You know, the rinks get a little bit warmer as the weather warms up, and you know, the ice time picks up a little bit. You're going to drop some pounds, and actually right now the count's at 10. I'm trying to keep it back on.
Well, it's funny you mentioned dropping the weight, and I do want to wish you good luck. Of course, your wife Angela's at home. She's expecting. You must be really excited and thrilled about the prospect of a new child.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, who wouldn't be excited about the new child? And this is our first, and we're both looking forward to it.
Which is easier, playing with those 2 German Shepherd puppies you got, or trying to keep the Julias and the Ruffs from scoring?
Well, right now, I guess it's Julius and the Ruffs. I mean, trying to stay focused here. I got to leave my dogs at home, I guess, but I'm sure they're watching and pulling for us.
Kevin, you guys have done a tremendous job. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
All right, Kevin Grant joins us in the first period intermission, or second period intermission. An excellent game tonight, and we'll have more right after this. 4-2 hockey hockey game here in the second period intermission. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner back in the Omni, and I know we've talked about it quite a bit tonight, the playoff atmosphere, and Rob Dobson summed that up. He says this team is really starting to come together. Yeah, okay, they've dropped 5 of their last 6, but I'll tell you what, this team's really starting to play better.
Well, it's huge, too, getting the Conroy goal. We talked about that at the open, and isn't it interesting, if the Conroy scores, Tippett ends his little drought.
So let's take a look at the Columbia HCA scoring summary, and we bring in a 1-1 game after 1, and then Mario Chitteroni, 21st goal of the year, 47 seconds into the period from Dave Tippett, and it's a 2-1 Aero lead. But here come the Knights. Jason Ruff, 40th goal of the year from Aaron Bowe at 2:54. This game's tied at 2, but the Aeros will get 2 unanswered goals. Al Conroy, 19th of the year at 12:19. Mario Chitteroni getting the only assist, and then Dave Tippett comes back with his 18th of the year at 15:05. Scott Arneal and Mark Freer getting the assists. And speaking of Dave Tippett, Barry Warner, we talked a little bit about the fact that his back has kind of been in and out a little bit this year, and you know, preventing back injuries is a very, very tough thing to do. It's one of the more critical body parts to try and keep from getting injured, and that is our subject tonight as we take time out for good health.
Time Out for Good Health is presented by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment in healthcare together.
Hello, my name is Dr. Timothy Sitter, an orthopedic surgeon with Houston Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Associates at Rosewood Medical Center Hospital. Today we're going to discuss some of the basics of proper back care. Prevention is your best insurance against back injury, with 80% of all back injuries directly attributable to lack of exercise. Some alarming statistics have shown that 8 out of 10 Americans will suffer significant back pain sometime during their life, with an annual cost to the employer of $10 billion a year due to time off work. This does not include the additional costs of medicine, rehabilitation, and office visits. Along with the advice of your doctor, you can maintain a strong, healthy back by following a few simple rules. These include thinking ahead before lifting and practicing proper lifting technique, keeping your weight under control, thus avoiding unnecessary back strain, maintaining proper posture through all daily activities, and most importantly, through exercise, maintaining good tone, strength, and flexibility, not only of the back muscles, but more importantly, the abdominal muscles. This may require no more than 15 to 20 minutes of back-specific exercise 3 to 4 times a week. Since prevention is your best insurance against back injury, you must always remember to take time out for good health.
Time Out for Good Health was presented by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment in healthcare together.
It's 4-2. The Aeros lead it here in the second period intermission. Rob Dobson and I will return with the highlights next. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Omni in Atlanta. It's a 4-2 Aero lead. Adam Gordon along with Rob Dobson. And I wanted to get your thoughts again on the period. You know, the Aeros came out, they got the first goal of that period, and they seemed to continue. We talked about the fact that the Aeros wanted to play 60 minutes, and they put together another good period.
I think what we did that period a lot better than the first period is that we really attacked their zone. We were real patient when we got opportunities to score, and we really did go at them hard. We had a lot of guys driving to the net, and we were able to pick up some good goals. I think also that we did a good job defensively, covering up the blue line and our gray areas. Forwards did a great job coming back, and thus created a lot of opportunities going the other way. And I think for us, from an Aero standpoint, it was just a tremendous period.
All right, let's take a look at the Toyota highlights brought to you by Toyota. And as we talked about, the Aeros got the first goal, but what a big goal by Al Conroy.
This is a great goal by Al. It's just he's strong on the boards. He makes a great play on Campo. The defenseman has to back up and take the other winger, and Al's just patient enough. One thing I've said a lot is that if you're patient with a guy like Tarek Wilkinson, he will commit. Al was very strong on the puck. Again, the defenseman backs up, very patient, and a great goal.
And Dave Tippett came into the game without a point in 6 games, but he gets a goal and an assist, including the goal here.
This is something we'd worked on all week, the guys in practice, and just what it had is we'd switched the defensemen around. We had defense on their off wings, and it wasn't creating a lot of scoring opportunities. They switch them back to normal. Scotty goes down to Mark, and Mark's real patient with the puck here. You see, like a little pump fake. Tibbs coming in the other side, and just a great goal. But I think the key to that was a little thing that Carl Valamont actually figured out the other night, is that we had had our defense kind of on the wrong side. What that does is it wasn't creating a lot of chances because they had to be patient with the puck, bring the puck, set it up, and shoot. But with them reversed, it created a lot more chances for us tonight.
Let's take a look at the high-low stats from that second period, brought to you by High-Low, because what you need is High-Low. Aeros get 3 goals in that period to take a 4-2 lead in the hockey game. The shots were 8 apiece, 17-16 though. The Knights leading in that department. 7 saves for Pat Jablonski, 6 for Derek Wilkinson. Aeros took only 1 penalty for 2 minutes. The Knights 2 penalties for 4 minutes. Power plays, the Aeros 1 of 1 on the power play. In that period, the Knights never did really get a chance on the power play. And Rob Dobson, we come into the third period. Is it going to be rugged? Is it going to be physical? Or are the Aeros just going to keep skating the way they have been?
I think that we just have to continue to do what we've done. It's successful for 20 minutes and carry it over into the third. If we look to the other night, I think the one thing we did wrong is that we had a little bit of a lapse. We get up 3-1 and quit taking the play to them. We have to continue to do the same thing in the third period. We really have to start taking the body on guys like Stan Drulia, Ruff, and Aru. That's their key line. They're the guys that can get them back in the game. I think that if we're physical on them, continue to stand up, play good defensive hockey like we had, I think we're very successful in the third period.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. And when we return, Barry Warner will be back with Rob and I as third period action is next. 4-2, the Aeros lead it. We'll be back. Chirp.
4-2, your Houston Aeros with a big second period of play. Jump out over the Atlanta Knights as Rob Dobson joins Adam Gordon and myself up here. We also have some regards to pass over. Marcia and Elizabeth Morris, Tom and Jeanette Palmer coming over from Houston here at the Omni for this big Aero telecast. Other scores around the IHL as we see what's happening tonight. Detroit leading Denver by a score of 3-1 in the second, and Denver down 1-0 at Kemper against Kansas City. Brought to you by Snapper. The Snapper scoreboard shows us Vegas and Minnesota, the Aeros' next opponent, Sunday afternoon, deadlocked at 1 apiece after 2. And later on tonight, it's Milwaukee at San Diego on your Snapper scoreboard. Dauber, what happens right now? Jablonski's got a 2-goal lead. He had a 3-goal lead a couple of nights ago. Does he have to just tune that out, and this is like a different one-act play?
Well, I think that's one thing about Pat Jablonski is that he's a veteran goaltender, and he really can't worry about what happened the other night. One thing that we're taught, and I was taught from a young age, is you can't control what's happened. You can only control what's going to happen. If you let in a bad goal, you can't let it bother you. You've got to battle back and be ready for the next one, or everything escalates as it did the other night. Pat's a good player. I think he's getting a little more comfortable out there. You know, he's been with Toronto as their third goaltender, hasn't got a lot of playing time, and I think that period was a tremendous period for us. Pat made a couple good saves. Guys cleared the rebounds, forwards come back and helped out, and we've got to continue to do that in the third period to be successful.
Okay, Jablonski goes back on Monday up to Toronto. Do we still have to keep Mike Verbal and Jim Wilkerson, the 2 goalies from the Senior League in reserve, or are we going to see you back in the pipes?
Well, I'm back in the pipes, but I heard that they're a rumor. Now, it could only be rumors. I don't mean to spread these kind of things, but someone told me that now that you have your glasses back, they might just let you play.
They can play goal, Dabber?
You might get to play. And
can I wear equipment? Your equipment?
No.
Oh, Dabber.
They're going to go to the local foundation and see if they can donate stuff from about 1902 for you. There's no chance you'll ever wear my stuff, but a little rumor is you might get to play.
And you know I'll do it.
Well, yeah, only. And one thing here, speaking of goaltending, they've made a switch. Atlanta's got in Scott LeGrand, and I think that what this does is Paris is making a little bit of a change to shake up his troops. But again, this is more important for the Aeros to go at him early. He hasn't played in 2 periods, and I know from myself it's tough.
Now the Knights trailing 4-2. Jason Ruff lobbed it ahead. Steve Jakes turned it around the right to Ruff. He'll bring it back in and out. Drulia right in. Turns to the backhand here, and he'll toss it wide. Tippett bats it to the line, not on a deflected shot. I think that hit Robinson and went just wide, and the Aeros able to clear it out at center, just past the reach of Dave Tippett, and the Knights are back. Derek Mayer to Drulia, turns in his own zone, almost hooked away by Chitteroni. 30 seconds gone in the third, and a 4-2 game. Aeros lead it. Jakes shoots it into the Atlanta zone. Back is Bradshaw, rolled it up right side for Aru, and now it is Ruff. He'll work it in toward the Aeros zone. And then finally, Arneal fished it out. Arneal trying to bring the puck ahead. It goes into the Atlanta Knights zone, out of the net. Scott LeGrand. He'll leave it for Bannister, though, and then Coming in was Malkunis, couldn't play the puck, and the Knights will clear it. Center ice, Gretzky to Bannister to McReynolds. It goes into Jablonski, and he'll lob it into the near corner for Kevin Grant, who is our second period intermission guest. And now it is Freer, 2-on-1 with Arneal. Freer shoots, right off the melon of Scott Legrand, and wow, that was a big shot that cranked right off the old bean, baby. Now it is Arneal behind the net, centered, Freer the shot, and Legrand down and makes a grand save, and now the puck picked up by Gretzky. A minute and a half gone in the third, and the Aeros have gotten a couple of good chances on Scott Legrand, but still 4-2. Aeros lead it. Now puck turned over, Harkins has it. Harkins shoots! What a great outstretched right pad save made by Legrand. Now McReynolds trying to clear. Curtis Hunt held it in. Now it is Maurice trying to skip it down. Gretzky in the corner, clear to the line. Out at center it came, and the Aeros go back. 2 minutes gone in the third, and a 4-2 game. Maurice, center ice, shoots it ahead. Harkins tipped away by Peterson. And the Knights now along the boards. Maurice trying to fight for it, and finally play whistled down with 2 minutes gone in the third. 4-2 Houston.
Great job on that, Jeff, by Graham Townsend, who just skates into your picture. Dabber, we talked about this being a muscle line of Maurice, who I like to say can bench press the aerodrome, and Townsend, who's 6'2" and about 215 pounds. Harkins, but right here, Townsend puts the body a good, clean, hard check, and a guy you don't normally get a good shot at. He spun Gretzky around. Gretzky lost his stick. What does the player like Gretzky remember the next time he comes out on the ice? Does he look around and think, where's 21?
Yeah, especially if they continue to take the body. You're always aware of guys that have hit you. Barry, are you saying that I can't bench the aerodrome?
I didn't stutter. I said Maurice could bench the aerodrome.
But you're always aware
You're the best athlete on the team.
Wow.
I've gone on record of saying you're the best athlete on the team.
Now puck back at center ice. 17:47 to go in this third period, and the puck turned over. Here is Crowley. Fakes the shot, drops. Chitteroni shoots Legrand, the save, rebound, and it's tossed wide. Now the puck centered again. LeBlanc the drive, high and wide of the net. Wow. I've seen more turnovers in this game than a New York deli. Now the puck picked up Mayer. This center ice, Gavey hits the line, looks in front to Campo, right in, and he was ridden off by LeBlanc. Big win to rebound, and Jablonski is down, and now Myers comes up, and Conroy wants to get in there, and they're all locked up to the side of the net. And the linesman trying to get in there, everybody reaching for their American Express card, saying, do you know me? I go, yeah, here's mine. Nice to meet you, and finally the linesman separate.
Myers looks like he could be playing defensive end for June Jones and the Atlanta Falcon football team. And Tippett comes up here with him. They're just fighting and sparring right in front, and Myers turns around. Nice job there by LeBlanc, the rookie, by riding Campo off the puck. Myers thought that he had a goal, tries to face wash him a little bit, and Tippett, Tippett comes right at him, and here comes Conroy, and LeBlanc, number 25, wants to show his medal and jump right in there.
I think, too, you look there, the first two guys back are forwards, and I think that's a key for us tonight. They haven't got many good quality shots on net, and our forwards have been coming back and doing a tremendous job defensively.
Off the face-off, the Aeros have got it. Robinson steers one ahead for Freer. It was knocked away, and the Atlanta Knights have got it. Yveru rolled it into the Aeros zone. Jablonski slows, but he turned it over to Drury. No, went to Freer. Almost gave it to Drury, but now the Aeros turn. Arneal to Robinson. Couldn't clear the zone. Robinson again trying to reach for the puck. He'll go behind the net. Skates it along the boards for the near side. Now Bunis trying to clear it. Freer finally will to Scott Arneal. Arneal through the neutral zone. He'll hit the line. Arneal turning, and it was tipped away by Jason Rock. 3.5 played in the third in a 4-2 game. Shots now 20-18 in favor of the Aeros. Peterson got it into the Aeros zone. And here is Jakes out to center for Malgunis. Shouldered by McReynolds. Freer can't advance, and now it is Aaron Bow across the line. And he was hip checked by E. Jakes. Tell you what, the Aeros have stepped up and really took play at the blue line. They're not backing in tonight. They're meeting him at the blue line with some good play. Now, it's Freer. Right wing boards. He'll shoot the puck into the zone. Score! What was that? That goal is as pretty as a block punt on the 2-yard line, but it counts, and the Aeros lead it 5-2.
Dabber, what happened happens to a goaltender? What is a goalie like LeGrand thinking? He got shelled immediately by about 8 Aeros shots, but Freer's not thinking goal when he comes over the blue line with that.
I don't think he better put his money on red in Vegas either, but it's just a play where the petition's on the boards, and it's just a simple dump in. And, you know, you have to really watch with these boards. I know they're tricky the other end as well. Freersy just dumps it in. LeGrand thinks he's going back behind the net, and uh-oh. High rain, jock strap down around my ankle. He beat him like a rented mule, Adam.
Top shelf, right? When he tells his grandkids how he won this game.
If you bank 50 goals off a guy's rear end, he's still a 50 goal scorer. Over there.
Ifs, ands, and buts, right? Oh, tough break. And now they're taking a look at the glass.
Yeah, they're going to blame the goal on the glass, but it still counts. But that's a good, you know, again, we've come at him hard, and I know when you're a goaltender who goes in late in the game like this, you have to really go after him, and I think that we have to continue to go at him. It's unfortunate for him it went in, and very fortunate for us.
Well, what has happened to you? What is the most embarrassing goal, Dauber, that you've given up?
Oh, gosh. I remember one time in junior we were in London, and I was trying to make the Kitchener Rangers. Actually, I've got two. They're equally as bad. A guy ices the puck down, and I turn in the crease to stop the puck, and I was out too far. It went off my skate and in the net. But the worst one by far is I was playing in my hometown, and a guy shot the puck in, and it was really going slow, and they're yelling icing and icing and icing. So I just let it go through my legs, and it curved and went in the net. But, you know, you have those nights, and you don't wish them on anybody, but they do happen.
And what happens here are 3 unanswered Aero goals. Conroy tipping on the power play, and now Freer with, I would say, the most bizarre goal that the Aeros have scored all year.
But it counts, and it's 5-2 Houston with 4 minutes gone in the third. Here is a pass that goes up and out of play, and we'll take time out. 5-2 Aeros. We'll be back right after this.
It was the 33rd goal of the year off the stick of Mark Freer, but even Freer would have to say he was incredibly surprised, trying to dump the puck in, shoot it off the boards. Great pull shot. The goalie, LeGrand, who looks totally out of place, goes over. He thinks the puck is going to circle around, and what happened? It bounces off and in. And like you said, Dauber, if he tried to do it 50 times, he probably couldn't duplicate that shot.
Here is Kevin Grant off the face-off, and he'll play the puck off the boards to Maurice and now Harkins. Harkins at center, shoots it in. After it, Townsend. In is Aaron Bowe. It's chipped away for Jim Hiller. Hiller in his own zone, cleared it. Oh, I thought he got it out, but no, it was held in by Curtis Hunt. He'll lob a shot wide of the net. Now it is Maurice to the corner, and now after it, it's Brad Shaw. Far side, sized up by Townsend, lost an edge. That hurts as they both go down. Puck is in the Atlanta zone. Harkins fighting for it. We're going to get penalties as both go down. I mean, here's a situation. Who you calling on? It could be either one, but I think they're going to call the Atlanta Knights.
No, Todd Harkins.
You're kidding.
Wouldn't lie to you.
Come on.
No, and it's just a play where they're both fighting for the puck, and I don't say anything about the officials on the air. You know, it's not my nature.
Have you thought about running for politics as Harkins goes to the box, and the Aeros will be shorthanded for a couple of minutes? Well, coming up Sunday night at 7, marine researchers discover that their deep sea lab is nothing more than a seafood platter. They're the main course. Greg Evigan and Nia People star in Deep Star 6 Sunday night at 7 on UPN. And now 2 minutes up on the board, and the Aeros shorthanded.
Very critical right here that the Aeros do the job. They got Tippett and Conroy out to kill the penalty. Critical because if you give them a goal, it becomes a two-goal game. We've always said, Adam, that's the worst way to have.
Puck is in the Atlanta Knights zone. And here come the Knights. Up and out of their zone. A pass. Left side. Bannister ripped it into the Aeros zone. To the far side. Julia gathers it in. Center. Jablonski fired it away. Loose puck in front. Can the Aeros clear it? Yeah. Robinson did. And now Conroy shorthanded. Speeding down the left side. Cuts. Shoots. LeGrand. A stick save. Now it is Jason Ruff behind the net. Roll the puck to the right side for Julia. Julia brings the puck in for Derek Mayer, cutting right in on goal. The puck stop rebound. Oh, it it just wide of the net. Wow, I thought maybe that would have trickled in, but Jablonski made a nice play and he got it wide.
Yeah, Pat just stayed on the puck. I'm not sure if he got a piece of it or not, but again, he's back there, he's in position, and we were able to clear the zone.
Now, here come the Knights. They'll bring it from right to left. A minute remaining in the Harkins minor. Puck takes a hop, comes to Yves left side, trying to center it. He's belted by Grant, and Curtis Hunt will feather it all the way down the ice. One thing, Dauber, you look at it with 50 remaining in the power play. But for Atlanta, the Aero penalty killing has been tremendous.
Yeah, I think we've done a good job of standing them up and forcing them to dump the puck in. And you know, anything can happen when you make them do that.
Now Hiller back the other way, trying to barrel in on goal. Ooh, takes a chop from Kevin Grant. Here's Gretzky now. Gretzky to Brad Shaw, getting set. Wines gets the shot now. The drive high and Wines. Puck kicks to the near side. Curtis Hunt can't clear. Now it is McReynolds. He's tacked in there by Curtis Hunt. Now over to the corner for Gretzky. Rolled it back to the line. Aaron Bowe misplayed the puck. Brain cramp for a little bit there, and it came out at center. Here is Curtis Hunt in his own zone. Couldn't find the handle, and now Jim Hiller cutting in center. Gretzky. Oh, I think Jablonski may have gotten a piece of that, more out of reaction than knowing where the puck was. And down the ice it goes with the penalty over to Harkins. Teams at 5 aside. Good kill by the Aeros, and here come the Knights again. Shaw in over the line. Cuts back to the right. Watched by LeBlanc. It comes in behind the net for Crowley. He can't clear. It came to Nelson. Left point shot blocked by Harkins. Gretzky to the right side. Bannister. A shot blocked in front. Never made it to Jablonski. And now Mike Maurice. Couldn't clear. Second effort does. Townsend. He'll shoot it into the Atlanta zone. LeGrand will slow it with 12:46 to go in the third to 5-2 game. Here come the Knights. Gretzky to Myers. Ooh, just about had it stripped by Chitteroni. Now a fight for the puck, and Chitteroni trying to get in there. Knocked away by Maurice, but the Knights take over. Campo hoists it into the Aeros zone, and LeBlanc hustles back as Jablonski will slow it for him. 12:24 to go in a 5-2 game. Aeros lead it. Gady for Atlanta. Spun off the puck. Jablonski comes out to play it. He'll go to the line. That hit Mayer right in the shoulder. And now Chitteroni with a chance, and he was knocked down, and a penalty coming up. Wow, he took a pretty good slash, and while we sort this out, we take time out. 5-2 Aeros. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Chitteroni thinking he's got his second opportunity to score a goal tonight, but Derek Mayer just slashes, just comes right in there, right across the top of the gloves, and Chitteroni has no chance at all to get the shot off. Dauber, right in here, and a great job, I thought, by Pat Jablonski.
Yeah, Jabber goes down right here, and you know, I think what he does is he plays a little bit like Felix Potvin. When you get to watch a guy like that play all year, they're all the same. They have their stick down. But he was, again, got right back into position, and I think he would have made the play if it was on net.
With the wrong hand, right, Dauber?
Oh, yeah, those lefties.
Of course, Felix Potvin, the #1 goalie in Toronto. Jablonski backing him up, and a lot to learn there. As Freer in the slot, a shot that surprised LeGrand. Loose puck, LeGrand again, as Townsend couldn't belt it in there. Aeros on the power play, 1:30 to go, and the man advantage. Tippett spanked it into the Atlanta Knights zone. Here is Scott Arneal, right side. Back to the line, Crowley, waiting, shooting, ripped it wide. Rebound for Yves, and it's just cleared down the ice.
That shot's on net. The guys are doing a great job in front of the net to screen him. I think if Teddy can get that shot on net, he's got a goal.
Now the Aeros bring it back. LeBlanc to Harkins, right back to Carl LeBlanc. Now to Crowley. Wines fakes the shot. Now the one flies. Freer as Harkins let it go. Came out in front, and Crowley back to get it. We're making LeBlanc rather. To Slivchenko, lost the handle, and Brad Shaw will play the puck. We've got an injured Atlanta Knight as Gretzky was knocked by Harkins. No penalty. It was away from the play. I didn't see it. Now play going on. Harkins will shoot the puck in. Here is Slivchenko now. Van Eem, base of the right circle, down low. Maurice for Slivchenko. Van Eem trying to play the puck low. Oops, right up on the glass, and Maurice wrestling in there with Brad Shaw, and here is Jason Ruff. Can he clear it? No. Second effort, yes. And the puck at center. Slivchenko. Maurice across the line, watched by Hiller. Maurice fired it into the Atlanta Knights zone, and Slivchenko behind the net, waiting, trying to find someone to pass to. He'll set it up. Slivchenko with 7 on the power play. Van Eem waiting now. Roll to Conroy at the hash marks. Right in the shot, blocked. Conroy got it back with a penalty. There's over teams at 5 aside, and the puck deflected up and out of play. We're halfway through the third. The Aeros lead at 5-2. Now the Aeros, you know, with the playoffs coming around, they want you to get your 7-game playoff packages. They start right at around $50. You can call right now, not later. Right now, 627-AERO. Operators are standing by.
Dauber, admit one thing. You make an absolutely lousy spectator, and tonight, by you being on the broadcast, you're not falling asleep. You're paying attention.
I am the worst spectator. It's really no fun watching a game when you're not playing, but it's always fun to get to come up and hang out with you two guys.
See, you find out how hard we really work, you know? All the information we get from you goaltenders, we put to use in the telecast, Dauber.
You sleep all afternoon, you go and watch a hockey game for free, you travel, you eat free. Yeah, you have a tough life, Barry.
You know what? Working with Barry Warner and Rob Dobson makes me think I'm in Vegas. How'd you like to draw to that pair? Here's the puck at center ice.
We're definitely not a lounge act.
Here's the puck shot into Houston Aero territory. Conroy cleared it, not out. Puck and skates, and finally play whistled down with 9:49 to go in the third. 5-2 Houston.
I think one thing we're all seeing up here is how much more confidence the Aeros are playing in. And Dauber, you hit it right from the spot when they put Legrand out and all that. They started peppering them with shots, and even though the puck didn't go in before the Freer goal, this team looked like a far more confident team than the team that blew a 3-zip lead the other night at home.
I'm real surprised, not so much with the way we're playing. I'm surprised that we didn't learn our lesson earlier in the year. I think there was a lot of times when we did blow leads and were unable to get points out of games that we should have. But this close to the end of the season, you have to learn from the other night. I think we've done a tremendous job tonight playing with the lead. When you get into a position where you're winning on the road, you have to make it as boring as possible. You have to continue to take the play to the other team.
Hasn't been that boring, though. It's been a pretty good game.
But as you notice, though, we're not spending all night in our own zone. We've got down a goal, we get up a couple goals, and we're continuing to go after them.
Here's Chinaroli now. He'll shoot the puck into the Atlanta night end. Scott Legrand out, but he turned it over. Now the puck was centered. Legrand played it in. That almost turned into another empty net goal. Puck cleared. Center ice. Brant Myers hooked by Tippett. And Houston back. Kevin Grant right side. Sliced to center. Chinaroli to the left side. Dave Tippett rolled it into the Atlanta zone as Houston making changes on the fly with 9:14 to play in the third. 5-2 game. And here is Aaron Gavey weaving up and out of his zone. His pass for Shaw. He'll rip it into the Houston Aero end. It'll come to the near side for Freer. Freer couldn't clear. Campo takes it with a shot that hits skates, and Jakes will clear it down the ice. Under 9 minutes to play in the third in a 5-2 game. Aeros lead it. Shaw, center ice, missed Ruff. That'll go down the ice. It was going to go through the crease, so Jablonski forced to play it. That means no icing. Here is Rob Robinson now. Tossed it for Arneal, and now the Aeros have a break. 2-on-2. Freer with Malgunas. Freer cutting in, and he went without the puck. Got back with a shot. Stick saved by Legrand, and Bradshaw turns. Now at center. Drulia galloping over the line. Dropped it for Ruff. Makes the move. Lost an edge. Crashed and burned. Puck centered, and Crowley clears it. 5-2 Houston with 8:20 to go in the third period. I'm Adam Gordon with Barry Warner and Rob Dobson. And we're coming to you live from the Omni in Atlanta. Maurice, center ice, threw it right off Gretzky. Gretzky trying to play the puck. And the Knights, Peterson, left side. Trying to shovel it ahead. The Aeros reject that, and here is Alan Peterson again. And it'll go back into the Aeros zone. Hunt jammed it along the boards. It came back to center, and we're down to 7:50 to go in the third period, and the Aeros lead at 5-2. Peterson with a little trouble. Had to go play it behind the net. Maurice gave him more trouble as Conroy centered it. The shot! Oh my word! The wide open chance for Maurice, and he tossed it wide. Now Hunt along the boards for Conroy. Behind the net, Chinaroli went without the puck. Got it again. And the Aeros trying to fight it into the corner, but Yves Aeros is there. Aeros and Chinaroli fighting for it. Here is Conroy at the hash marks. Conroy shooting. He tried to center it through the slot. It came to the line, not out. Melvin Crowley, the big drive twist going wide. And the Knights have got it. Center ice pass got by Crowley. Aeros cutting in, shooting, and Jablonski with a great save. He'll cover up and he'll hold on, and we take time out. 7 minutes to go in the third. Aeros by 3.
Little man.
Aeros are content leading 5-2. They want to make it 6-2. And taking the place of Dave Tippett on the Conroy line, Mo Maurice. Great pass from Conroy. And Mo's got one place to put the puck. That's in the net. And he doesn't. You talk about sleepless nights. Dauber?
I think that Brad Shaw made a good play there. Mo was trying to get it in the net, and I think he got a stick on it. Here, Jabber the same. All those guys play the same. They're all right down on their knees, but he's able to get across and make a good save to keep the score 5-2.
Dauber, you ever keep track of how many times you go from the ice to your skates to the ice to the skates during games?
I'm just on the ice the whole time. It's the biggest beach whale in the league.
Fighting for the puck, Knights trying to come up with it. Down 5-2, but a good work by Arneal. And he'll shoot it down the ice. Derek Mayer back, watched by Freer. Freer came in to try and play it away. Good battle in the corner. That's one thing I've noticed tonight, Dauber, is a lot of the little battles along the boards the Aeros have won. Here come the Knights. Gavey trying to get a shot away. Now Aaron Bowe cutting in, but that's popped away, and Kevin Grant will turn it around. Pass off the boards, came to center, and Gavey will play. But those little battles are so key.
You win the little battles, you can win the war, and when you get outplayed along the walls is usually when you lose hockey games, and I think we've done a great job along the walls in the front of the net.
Bowe left side. He's belted by Townsend. And now Campo trying to move it along. Good work here, and the Aeros have it. Maurice at center ice. 3-on-2 with Townsend and Harkins. Maurice across the line, trying to center. Couldn't get it through Brock Woods, and play is whistled down.
Our next telecast, Dauber, I think you're going to be in the pipes as tempers flare down there from Atlanta. But we're on the air 1 week from tomorrow in Peoria.
Well, this is not this is definitely something I think you'd expect with a 3-goal deficit as far as the Atlanta Knights are concerned.
You look back to the game in Atlanta when Troy got the shutout 4-0, is that we won all the little battles. When I say that, we hit guys like Trulia and Ruff. When you start to get under their skin, obviously tempers are going to flare. Brock Woods, a guy who played with us there a couple weeks ago, who was rumored to be coming back to Houston, but I guess Atlanta or Tampa Bay made him a promise that they would sign him again for the next year. The old pull the wool over your eyes kind of deal, I guess. But at 5-2 with 6 minutes left, you can see the frustrations of Atlanta. I think that just credit to Houston. They've done a great job all over the rink tonight.
You know, you talk about Woods. Yeah, the Aeros wanted to bring Woods back, but LeBlanc is not exactly chopped liver, and I thought it was interesting with the 3-goal lead that Terry wasted no time in putting LeBlanc at the point of the power play. Who? Carl LeBlanc.
Back in Canada, that's LeBlanc.
LeBlanc.
I got mixed up there for a while. I thought you were forgetting Carl Valamont.
Hey guys, you know the battle lines have been drawn and the enemy is near, so you need to be there for the assault on the 1995 Turner Cup. And you can bet that the individual game tickets for the playoffs, they're on sale Monday at all Ticketmaster outlets. You can call 629-3700. That's for the individual tickets, but you know what? Forget about it. Don't get the individual ticket. Get yourself the 7-game packages. Just be a part of all the excitement. You know, I'll ask you the same question I asked Scott Arneal and Dave Tippett. In one word, Rob Dobson, describe the playoffs. One word.
Fans' point or a player's
point? From a player's point.
Excitement. Right? You look to the playoffs. It's a new season. Everybody starts off with no points. There's no points. Let's just get on the bandwagon and see how far we can drive it.
Barry, you've watched a lot of playoffs in your time. You describe it in a word.
Intensity.
Yeah? So you're going to take what Arneal and Tippett said?
No. I agree. I mean, it's just when I think of playoff hockey, I think of intense because every moment looks, there's so much more meaning. You don't have any, you can't float at all. You can't take a shift off. You can't, even if you have a 3-goal lead, say, I'm just going to go out and float. Because every single battle that is there, and you're playing the same team night after night after night.
You know, in the Aeros, we talked about the fact they had lost 4 out of their last 5, but you know, all this doesn't matter, Barry, because the slate is set at 0.
And they speak of intensity. You take a look at 2 guys there, Tippett and then Terry Ruskowski. Would you say, Dauber, those are probably 2 of the as intense guys as you'll ever see in hockey?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of other guys in the team that are the same way. And you know, one thing that we have to do is remain intense throughout the playoffs. And the key point there is you have to have all 20 or 25 guys playing, and that comes from just wanting to win. And I know that from a personal standpoint, I've been in 4 finals, and there's nothing like being there.
Extra 2 minutes go up on the board to Christian Campos, so the Aeros are on the power play. But I wanted to ask you real quickly, you know, of course, Al Conroy brings a lot to this hockey club, but what does he bring come playoff time?
I think Al Conroy is going to be a tremendous asset for us come playoff halftime, because I think defense wins championships, and Al Conroy is a defensive specialist, as I'll say. You know, he and Dave Tippett do a tremendous job killing penalties, and they played together for a long time. It adds a new dimension to that line. It also gives us another scoring threat. You get a guy like that, and in fairness to Pete Deneen and what have you, I don't know if they're done dealing yet. They have until the 6th, so you never know what's going to happen the next week.
Here is Dave Tippett now off the face-off. Aeros on the power play, and Scott Arneal rolled it down for Freer, trying to move it along the boards. Alan Peterson with him, skate for skate go. Arneal to Crowley, rolled it over to Dave Tippett. Aeros have a power play goal tonight. Now Arneal trying to find a second power play goal in the ranks. Puck to Crowley, and he wanted to one-time, and he fanned on it. Tough break for Crowley.
Wants to crawl underneath the ice right now.
Now, 5-2 game, you can take chances like that, though. Work on the power play. He's got a big shot. I'll tell you what, when he connects, though, he can let it rip. Tippett in his own zone. Give it to Crowley. Crowley moving up the right wing board. Center ice for Mark Freer. Freer gives it to Arneal. Arneal lost it, though, and Drulia picked his pocket. And he'll circle back into his own zone and then turn the puck over to Arneal, but he couldn't quite get a shot away. Brad Shaw in his own zone. Aeros have a shorthanded goal tonight, but they're on the power play. They don't want to give one up here as it goes down the ice, and Jablonski will slow with 55 seconds remaining in the Campbell Minor. Crowley feathers a pass to Slivchenko moving down the right side. He'll shoot it into the Atlanta zone. LeGrand comes out of the net. Now the puck picked up by Mike Maurice, base in the left circle. Aeros start on the power play. Maurice at the hash marks to Crowley. Right point, wide shoots, and a glove save made by LeGrand. He'll hold on with half a minute remaining in the Campbell Minor. 4:43 to go in the third. 5-2 Houston.
This is going to be a huge loss for John Paris's club, because after the game the other night, both Stan Drulia and Jason Ruff said, you know, people are counting us out. Forget about what we've done the last 10 games. We got the feeling we're the defending Turner Cup champs, and we're playing right now with that same championship feeling. Dabber, I ask you, how much wind does it take out of the sails of guys like Ruff and Drulia?
I don't know if it's going to affect them all that much. It's a game, but I think most importantly for the Houston Aeros is it gets us back in a tie for second place. We're not 4 points down. We're right in the hunt of things, and it gives us better positioning for the playoffs.
Off the face-off, here is Atlanta in their own zone. Derek Mayer shorthanded for another 24 seconds. Aeros fight for the corner. Anaru trying to move it along, and it goes to Chris Nelson. He'll skate it up the right side. Center ice. Drulia takes the puck. Trying to move it up now for Nelson. Sidesteps a Conroy check, hits the line. Nelson watched by Maurice LeGrand in there as well. Puck centered, but Knights couldn't get a shot away. Drulia bumped by Slivchenko, and the Aeros turn, and the penalty is now over. Teams at 5 aside with 4 minutes exactly to play. In the third, Aeros lead at 5-2.
Slivchenko learning his lesson. He's sticking on Drulia very, very tight. He didn't do it the other night, and they gave up a goal.
Slivchenko, though, brought the puck in and quickly lost it. And here's Jim Hiller for the Atlanta Knights. And a rink-wide pass for Brant Myers. Left side. Give it to Jim Hiller, moving down the left wing. Hiller watched by Townsend. Puck centered. Now it is Myers again. Myers had it taken away by Chitteroni. And here is Malgunas now. Jammed it into the Atlanta Knights zone. Shaw goes into the corner. Shaw, he will play the puck. Forecheck by Townsend. Puck to Jim Hiller. Hiller right to left. Steers a pass to McReynolds. McReynolds shoots it into the Aeros zone, out of the net. Jablonski, and here is Rob Robinson now. A pass for Graham Townsend. Townsend is center ice with 3:05 to go in the third. He'll shoot the puck in, and right now, dump and chase, baby. That's about it. Time winding down to the Aeros with a 3-block lead. Puck is in the Atlanta zone. Knights have it. Derek Mayer had it popped away, got it back. Mayer across the line. Mayer getting by Crawley. Still the puck, cutting in. Couldn't center it now. Lets a centering pass go. That was deflected away. Gretzky to the line for Alan Peterson. It goes into the corner to the right of Jablonski. McReynolds trying to move it ahead, but here's Crowley. And now Arneal turns it up ice, and the Aeros have a 3-on-2 break. Arneal, Freer, and Tippett. Arneal cuts it back for Tippett. Quick shot redirected. The shot. Score! Scott Arneal. 6-2 Houston.
So incredibly easy, Scott Arneal makes it look as he puts the puck past LeGrand. LeGrand just frustrated beyond all belief, but Arneal, Brandon Arneal's dad, makes it look so effortless. As the Aeros come down, this play starts with Arneal making the nice pass, the shot, and then Freer right in front just puts it right on his teammates, thinking, what is this, just another day at the office for Brendan's dad, the way he looks?
That may have looked easy to you, but I think Scotty fanned on the shot. But that's a good 3-on-2 for the guys. Those guys play very, very well together. You've got a lot of experience going down on you, Arneal and Tippett and Freer. Fierzy made a good play. He was in tight in the net, but he was smart enough to get the puck over to Scotty, who I don't know if he got all the wood on. He thought he did, but it's 6-2, and I think that pretty much will do it for this game, and most importantly, get 2 points for us. Ties back in second.
All right, 6-2 Houston. 2:25 to go in the third. Face-off, won by the Knights. And they'll bring the puck in, and back goes Lebanon. He'll clear it out at center. And the Knights back. Brad Shaw shoots it into the Aeros zone. Out of the net, Jablonski. Here's Mike Maurice. He let it go to center ice. Said, hey, we don't need to hurry. We'll just let it go out at center, shoot it back in. Davey, left side, center to pass. It's knocked away, and Harkins comes center. Harkins kind of tipped away, and Chris Nelson trying to move it up ice. Nelson harassed by Harkins, and he'll bring it away. Pass to Brant Myers. In across the arrow line. Myers dropped it for Davey. Trying to feather it back down for Myers, and here is Mario Chitteroni. Chitteroni behind the net. Wrapped up by Myers. Myers fighting for it. Now the Aeros have it. And it's out at center. Slivchenko, a man to beat. He'll turn on the Jets. He'll cut in on goal. He'll shoot. Legrand, a stick save. 1.5 to go, folks. 6-2 Houston. Center ice. A pass goes down the ice. No icing as Robinson hustles back to play it. And here is a centering pass jammed away. And Crowley will work it out at center ice. Here comes Malgunas. Chipped it into the Atlanta zone. And Aaron Bowe goes back with 1:10 remaining. Bowe and Malgunas skate to skate the corner. Peterson behind the cage. Rolled it near side. Aru. He's watched by Townsend as we're down to the final minute. And the Aeros are going to pick up a win here. Townsend trying to muscle it down, and it's taken by the Knights and clear. Hiller. Lobbed one ahead. McReynolds will go down the ice. Jablonski will turn and cleared himself out at center. Puck shot in. The Aeros go back. Jablonski bats it down, and here is Ted Crowley. Crowley in behind the net. 34 seconds left. 6-2 Houston. And a pass comes to center ice. Maurice trying to find Conroy. It goes down. Legrand came out to play it away, and Brant Myers has it with 20 seconds remaining. Gretzky in over the line. Gretzky making the move, centered, and Jablonski trying to find a place to play it. He will hold on with 14 seconds remaining in the third in a 6-2 lead.
Well, you know, Atlanta, the only team in the NFL that now runs the run and shoot. I was going to bring the guru, Daryl Miles Davis, to the game tonight as my guest, but he flew home and he's watching the game right out there in Sweetwater with his son, Brad Davis, and the grandkids. And tonight it was the Aeros version of run and shoot. And Dabber, I don't know about you, but I think the turning point of the game that really turned this into a real breather was the Conroy goal. Not just because it was the winning goal, the game winner at 3-2, but what it means psychologically to this team to have that veteran.
You know, Al Conroy is like I've mentioned a lot, is going to be an asset to this team down the stretch, and to get him on the scoreboard, kind of get the first goal jitters over with, is going to help us out. He's done a tremendous job defensively, and now to get back on the offensive side of it is a good asset. You know, I look to everyone. I think everyone's won those little battles, and not one guy has been out of position. You know, we've made a couple mistakes maybe on the 2 goals or what have you, but if you limit a team to 20 shots, you're doing pretty good, and you're going to win a lot of hockey games.
14 seconds left. 6-2 Houston. Aeros win the draw, and here is Malgunas at center, and he'll just blast it all the way down the ice. This is an icing call as Bannister has it, and play whistle down, and he'll do it one more time.
Dabber, even though we got 5 seconds left, 4 seconds left, tell me, what's it like as the teammates are going to go in right now and mob Pat Jablonski? But what type of a feeling is that for the goaltender?
Well, it's a lot of relief. You know, you fought hard for 60 minutes to get the win, and you know, to get it this late in the season is good for our team to get back on the winning track, and especially on the road going into Sunday at home and then that long road trip. But you know, I think you just have a lot of relief. You've done your job, and then you've won a hockey game, and that's one of the best, other than winning a championship, I guess, is probably one of the best feelings you can have. But again, we've got to go back in now, collect our thoughts, and get ready again for Sunday, which is another divisional game.
Face off to the left of Pat Jablonski, and drop of the puck. Aeros have it, and skating with it, Malgunas, and the horn sounds, and the Houston Aeros defeat the Atlanta Knights by a score of 6-2. And you know, we talked about about it, the Oshman's game plan, Barry Warner, about 61 minutes. That's what we got tonight, a 61-minute effort.
Well, that's right. They got the 60 minutes, and now they're taking a minute right now as they're congratulating Jablonski and each other because it was a team win. And Adam, we talked about the Oshman game plan on the blue line. The Aeros did that with a couple of times that they got lost in the gray zone. And let's get physical. They did that tonight.
All right, Pat Jablonski picks up the win. We will try to have a visit with Mr. Jablonski when we return. The final score tonight from the Omni: Aeros 6, Knights 2. We're back right after this. Welcome back to the Omni, everybody. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner and Rob Dobson. The Aeros pick up a 6-2 win. And first question I want to ask you, Mr. Dobson, is we talked about a 60-minute effort. We got that, and plus, not only did the defense play well, the offense played well. So it seems like all those intangibles came together tonight.
Yeah, I think they did a good job, and we always say that good defense will bring on good offense. The guys did a tremendous job at both ends of the ice, and most importantly, won the little battles. We were strong along the wall. We were strong in front of our net. Our forwards were back helping out, and, you know, we limit a team like Atlanta to 20 shots. You've done one heck of a job defensively, and I think it turned into some good scoring odd man situations at the other end, and we come up with a well-deserved 2 points.
Well, I thought, just adding to that, that the defense and the offense were so totally dependent upon one another. It was the spontaneity of the defense created the offense, and vice versa. It was a great team win, and of course, it put the man in the pipes, number 33, with a W. And we were kidding Adam Gordon beforehand how Pat Jablonski, the last time he took a shower at the Summit, he needed WD-40 to take the rust off. Jabber, what's it going to be like tonight, having your first win right now in quite some time?
Oh, it feels great. The guys played a great game, like you said. They played in all zones, neutral, defense, and offensive zone, and things went very well tonight. They made my job a lot easier.
Jabber, from a goaltender standpoint, it's been a while. You know, you've sat around, as you mentioned, quite a bit along the board so far this season. You obviously, from our standpoint, you looked a lot better. Did you feel more comfortable out there tonight than the other night? And, you know, I guess from when you get to playing successive games, it is a little easier. You know, describe it for yourself, you know, in seeing the puck and whatnot.
Well, the most important thing is confidence. I haven't practiced a whole lot in the last month. Things have been it's been a tough situation in Toronto this year. I've haven't gone through anything like this before in my career, so, you know, the first night it was good. It felt great just to get back in there. You know, I made a few mistakes, ones that I probably wouldn't have made if I had played before, and it's just getting back into it. Tonight I felt pretty good, and you know, the puck, I got out of my crease, challenged. You know, the pucks, I could see them a lot clearer, and the guys played great in front of me. You know, it was a total effort tonight.
Pat, how important is it the fact that you and Rob Robinson are good friends and former teammates as far as him talking to you during the flow of the game?
Well, communication is very important in any zone in the rink, especially with your goaltenders and defensemen. And Robert Robinson and myself played together about 4 or 5 years ago in Peoria, and we know a bit about each other. I haven't seen him or played with him in quite a few years now, but it was good. He knows my style, and I know what he's going to do. You know, and it's just it's a good situation for us. And you know, after 2 games, I'm starting to get a little more used to the other defensemen, and things are going a lot better back there.
Pat, what's it like playing with Felix Potvin? I'm losing the name. Felix Potvin in Toronto, the young kid. I mean, do you learn off each other?
Well, I'm not so sure he learns a whole lot off of me, but I do watch the way he plays, and I have learned a lot. We have not very similar styles, but you know, his whole key to success, and people always question how he is so successful, is he's always in the middle of his net. He never lets a guy beat him in the middle of the net. So in reality, guys got to hit the corners, and a lot of times under pressure, guys can't make that shot. And that's one of the main reasons why he is so successful.
Jabber, last question for me. The difference in the shooters in the IHL and the NHL?
Well, I think the difference in the whole game period is just the quickness. Quicker shooters, they make the plays quicker, and everything just happens a bit quicker. Every level you go up when you're playing professional hockey, well, actually when you come out of juniors, you come up to the minors, it's quicker, and when you get up to the NHL level, it's another step quicker. So every level is a bit quicker, things happen a lot faster, and that's the main thing. A lot less mistakes, but that's why the guys are down here. They're down here to learn, and when they get up there, they're not going to make the mistakes that they shouldn't make.
Pat, thanks for your time. Congratulations on a great win.
Thank you.
All right, goaltender Pat Jablonski picking up the win, and the Aeros pick up a nice 6-2 win, and we'll have more for the Omni after this. Arrows hockey on Paramount 20 has been sponsored by Southwest Airlines, by Columbia Hospital, by McDonald's, by Heino Auto Parts, and by new Ice Brewed Ice Draft from Budweiser. Welcome back to the Omni. 6-2. The Aeros win it. And a 35-34-7 mark, and it's time for the Southwest Airlines. Just plain smart play of the game, and Rob Dobson, Al Conroy, the man.
Yeah, I think it's just an all-around strong effort for Al. He wins the puck off the wall, wins that war, gets back in front. Good play by the forward on the far side to go to the net, and Al was patient enough to make the shot. And I think it just signifies the all-around effort of the Aeros tonight. We were strong along the wall, and you win those little battles, you're going to win the game.
All right. Tell you what, though, as much as that turns out to be the game-winning goal, Barry Warner, this thing I mentioned on the air, it was about as pretty as a block punt on the 2-yard line, but hey, we'll take 50 of those in the playoffs.
And if he tried it 49 more times, he would miss the net. I mean, first coming down, he's just trying to dump the puck in. He shoots it off the sideboard, and LeGrand goes back to play the puck, except, oh my gosh, the puck bounces and caroms into the empty net.
So the Aeros win by a score of 6-2. Psychologically, what does this game mean? Beating the Knights in their ice. I mean, if you play these guys in the playoffs, this must be some kind of psychological boost.
What does that word mean? No, but I think it's a big boost for our team. You know, look at the other night. We're up 3-1, didn't do a very good job. We lost 4-3, but tonight to come back and beat Atlanta in Atlanta, to get back tied for second place, I think it's a boost for our team. But I think most importantly is we learned what not to do with the lead, and we played very solid with the lead. We made it very simple. We got the puck in deep, worked hard along the boards, and we're very successful.
Sunday, Barry, the final regular season home game against the Minnesota Moose, and a guy that you and I both just have tremendous accolades for, Stéphane Morin. It's a big game.
70 assists, and yes, it is a big game because you want to finish at home strong. Game looks like it's going to be a sellout, and take that momentum as the Aeros go on the road for the finale of the regular season.
Mr. Dobson, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having up here.
Barry, I don't think I took a job, but I had fun.
Well, Dob, I'm going to take yours on Monday because I'm putting the pads on.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll wrap things up next right after this. 6-2 Aeros win it. Back inside the Omni, Adam Gordon, Barry Warner. Nice 6-2 win for the Houston Aeros. Once again, my thanks to Rob Dobson. And let's see how the goals were scored as we take a look at the Columbia HCA scoring summary. In that third period, the Aeros made it 5-2 on that beautiful top-shelf hard slap shot. Mark Freer beat him like a rennet. No, off the boards, trickled in. I don't know what LeGrand was thinking. Tough break for the kid. But Freer notches his 33rd of the year at .359. Malgunas gets the only assist. 5-2 Houston, 6-2 Houston. Scott Arneal, fan on the first attempt, but batted in the second. And Mark Freer and Dave Tippett getting the assist. So Dave Tippett, we talked about him at the top of the telecast, Barry Warner, and he finishes with a goal and 2 assists. Welcome back, Mr. Tippett.
Yeah, and huge as the Aeros head down now into the playoffs.
Take a look at the final stats brought to you by James Coney Island Restaurants, and the Aeros with the win, but they also outshoot their opponents. It just seems like forever whenever you see the Aeros win and outshoot their opponents. 27-20. Aeros 5 penalties for 20 minutes. The Knights 7 penalties for 22 minutes. Aeros finish 1 of 4 on the power play. The Knights finish 0 for 3. And the penalty killing Barry Warner continues to be superb.
Number 2 in the IHL, and this is something that all the teams are going to face the Aeros in the playoffs are going to have to be very conscious of.
Yeah, and I think also the power play is showing signs of life once again.
Yeah, they were much quicker tonight, moved the puck around, and they got a power play goal, which was huge.
You know, and with the win from Pat Jablonski here, they're giving Troy Gamble a chance to rest. Rob Dobson, of course, up here tonight, did a good job. He had a chance to rest his ankle, and really goaltending is what wins a lot of hockey games in the playoffs. You get a healthy Troy Gamble, money. Healthy Rob Dobson, another money goalie. Things are going to be pretty good.
No question. This is a very confident Aero hockey team as they head down to the final week of the season. And don't forget, want to see everybody out there at the Summit. It's Fan Appreciation Day, Sunday, 4 o'clock. So don't show up at 7. Be there at 4.
Thank you very much, Barry. The executive producer of Houston Aeros Hockey is Paul Bykowski. Tonight's game has been directed by Aaron Silverman. Remote production facilities provided by TBS Field Operations. Transmission services provided by the Hughes Television Network. Hey, catch our next Aeros telecast next Saturday night when the Aeros take on the Peoria Rivermen live from the Peoria Civic Center at 7:30. Coming up next on UPN 20, The Jon Stewart Show. For Barry Warner and Rob Dobson and all the staff at Paramount or UPN 20, this is Adam Gordon saying thanks for watching Houston Aeros Hockey.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Houston Aeros and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Houston Aeros.